Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And hello, man babies. Here we go again. Like a drifter, I was born to walk alone. It's that time of the week, folks. It's the Mandalorian review. And wow, have we got an episode and a panel for you this evening. So let's start off with the day, because I know you're all a bunch of imbeciles. Today is Wednesday. The date, March 29th. The year is 2023. There's the simple stuff out the way. Now let's get on to the more complex material. I am Ruin Johnson, the greatest Hollywood Star Wars writer, director, and I trust you're doing very, very well. So, on this evening's stream / podcast, we are discussing the 5th episode, Season 3 of The Mandalorian. I believe this episode was entitled Pirates of the Caribbean, so looking forward to getting into it. But before we begin, some formalities. You can find us here on YouTube, or if you prefer your entertainment in podcast form, we're also on Spotify. The links are in the description. And of course, as always, if you like some visuals, we're on OnlyFans, where we're all naked and oiled up, so make sure you check us out there as well. So if you've not shut down for the evening, as Brownie always says, lots to get through, shall we get the guests out? I'll assume you're all nodding along. Let's do it. So I've got to give everyone the correct amount of hype, because we really do have some fantastic guests. So first up, it's my number one fan, hailing from a tent in my back garden. He is a Celtic season ticket holder. Set your faces to stunning and brave. It's not Brian. Hello, Brian, up the Celts.
Way, evening, Ruin. Good evening, chat. How are we? Whoa, wait a minute. What's this Celtic malarkey?
Okay, cue the music. I just thought I'd subvert your expectations, Brian. I hope you didn't mind.
I consider the expectations fully subverted.
Although I know that will probably get me killed up in Glasgow, but that's
There's
okay.
every chance, especially if you wander into my house. The way I wander into yours when you're not about.
Yes, you've wandered in on me in the shower several times, but we won't get into that now. But look, Brian, great to have you. We're going to get into The Mandalorian, but before we embark on our journey, shall we get some reprobates out?
Why not?
Let's do it. I've got some great people lined up, and you're just the first of them. Okay, next up, folks, from a VPN far, far away. He's the protocol on Adderall. He's the android with the hemorrhoids. It's the golden reach-around droid of choice. It's Zee-ThreePIO.
Oh, Master Ruin, a pleasure to be with you once more.
Oh, it's good to have you, Z. There's your... Go on, Brownie, give him his full tilt. Don't shortchange the man. There we go. Take a drink, everyone. Every time you hear the tune, you have to take a drink. You know the rules by now. So we're gonna do this again. Z, are you all strapped in, oiled up, ready to go?
I have been having a well-earned day off, sir. I'm all moved up. My golden rod is polished, and I'm raring to go.
Excellent. And there was a particularly golden droid on this episode. I can't wait to get your thoughts on how sexy you thought that droid was. But we'll all in good time. We'll get there. Let's get the next one out. So we see the good inside our next guest. You'll find him in the top 100 ASMR artists under the category Young Posh British Twink. It is the rising star of YouTube, the Darth Sith, Lord Chord. Hello, Lord Chord. How are you doing, sir?
Evening. You've just given me my second channel name. I should have changed it, shouldn't I?
Oh, the ASMR channel, I know, but...
I regret this soundtrack suggestion. Yeah, no, I should have... yeah, my next second channel will, in fact, be renamed to Young Posh British Twink, I think.
Young Posh
This is
British
the way,
Twink.
you're correct.
Oh, God. He's found the audio buttons, everyone. We're in for some fun tonight. Well, look, I'd love to chat more, but we've got probably a hell of a way to go ahead of us, and we've got lots more guests in the green room. If you don't mind,
300 more
Lord,
people. Just to get them out.
Let's get them out. I think Brownie's he's getting the view count up by getting more guests on. That's what he's hoping to do. Let's get them out. Okay,
Very
next
cynical.
up. He's the elder, the wise elder. Don't forget that bit of the channel. His dark web username, for all the dark web users out there, is Mandalorian. Look him up. He was 3 socks in bed. I'll leave the coordination to your imagination. He is our resident director. He is the great mega geek Ian David Diaz.
Actually, it's 4 socks in bed, but hey, who's counting now?
4 socks, he doubles up on the middle one. There we go.
Yeah.
How you doing, Ian?
I'm doing all right. Let's talk about this shit then when you're ready.
Oh, we're going to get into it. Brownie didn't give you the pipes, but I don't know. Maybe he's cocked it up now. I don't know. Okay, well, believe it or not, we've got more people to get out. Should we move on to the next one?
Get them out. Get them out.
Get them out. Get them off and get them out. Okay, well, next up, get ready for this chat. It's a debut appearance, and it's our special guest. He's all the way from a Mandalorian cave in New Zealand. He has a helmet made of pure Beskar, and we're not talking about the one on his head. He once apparently had a threesome with Star Wars Explained. He has a Chuck Wendig wibbly wobbly quote tattooed on his left arse cheek. He is our favourite robot of YouTube. It's Robot Head.
Good morning. Saying I'm living in the future, it is good morning, but you've already offended me by saying New Zealand.
Exactly. I'm
just subverting your expectations, Robot Head. You know what I'm like.
I'm very excited to talk to you, Ruin, and I've got some messages for Kathy. If you could pass them on later, that'd be great.
Well, if I just get the ball gag out of her mouth, I'm sure she'd be delighted to engage with you. Hope I'm not too close to the bone there, Brownie. We don't want to lose your monetization. But I've got to have a word with you, Robot Ed. You had some choice opinions on my perfect Star Wars movie. I need to take you up on that.
I did. That'll be a long conversation, that one.
Well, okay, we'll loop back to that one, but believe it or not, we're running out of screen real estate, as they say in the United States of America. But there is room for another guest, I believe. So, finally, last and most certainly least. He's jumping on before I give him his full hype train. He's the Yorkshire Ripper, the 50-year-old virgin, and he's in a particularly good mood today because he's just won an eBay bid for Paul O'Grady's sexy dame outfit. It's Mr. Brown.
Hello
Too
there.
soon? Too soon,
Yeah,
Brown?
yeah, I think so.
Oh, he'd appreciate
Hello,
that.
Ruin, you big man, baby, ruin, baby, destroyer of franchises.
That's
Man,
me.
baby, ruin.
That is me, Brown. I'm very good. I'm good. And of course, I say it with all love and respect. He's a man from my own parts, Mr. Paul O'Grady. What a fine comedian he was. But look, we're not here to talk about him. We're here to talk about The Mandalorian. And before we do, I need to formally acknowledge all the peeps in the chat, without which we are absolutely nothing. So hello, chat, and welcome. And I hope you're as entertaining as always. As we always say, you're the best chat on the Mr. Brown Alliance channel, no doubt about it. Right, so, Brownie, we're going to do this, aren't we? Before we do, we have the smallest font in the world. Here's your chance to test your eyes, folks. It says something about please like and subscribe, but also something about clicks and... yes, something about making your penis grow. I can't read the rest of it, but there we go. Nice beige background, brown. About the least exciting colour in the rainbow. My
favourite colour, yes.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, I've got about as much material as I can get on that slide, Brown. Mando poster, and this is formally where I suppose I announced that this episode was called... well, it was officially called The Pirate, wasn't it? But we're calling it Pirates of the Caribbean tonight.
Or Pirates of the Mandalorian. It kind of rhymes.
The chat's already debating whether that's beige, brown, or green. So
khaki, I would say.
Yes.
Maybe.
It's like Grogu shit. Basically,
Something
let's
more
settle on
interesting than the
that.
stream.
Let's not get bogged down in colours. Shall we move
Oh,
on?
he's getting the catchphrase in, folks.
No, I'm
Okay,
liking this. Like,
so
I've never ever been accused of being short-winded, but a 10-minute introduction is kind of pushing my longman levels. It's
10-minute introduction.
well
I know it's.
Sorry.
Believe it or not, we've still got another guest who was due to have on as well.
He's
But
not turned up.
yeah.
man.
So we embark on our journey with a rather prolonged recap, and rather than me try and half-arse my way through this, why don't we've not heard from Brian in a while. Brian, why don't you take us through this opening recap, if you would?
Being as that I actually skipped the recap, can I possibly nominate Z instead?
Okay, passing the baton. Go on, Z.
I also skipped the recap.
Oh my
But it was
goodness.
mostly season 1 and season 2 of them capturing, oh God, Moff Gideon, and getting the kid back. That's just about it, really.
Yes, and then the recap extends into previous episodes, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it's we get a bit of rock climbing, we get some of these beastly
Rebel rock.
creatures. I should at this point actually, I want to go to Robot Head. We need to get Robot Head's thoughts. So, Robot Head, you're joining us on episode 5. What's been your take on this season of the Mando so far?
Complete shit.
Oh,
Terrible. Yes, no, I haven't enjoyed. I don't think I've enjoyed any of it. It's really gone off the cliff, and I wasn't the biggest fan to begin with. But yeah, this season's just terrible writing. I just like that there's no story whatsoever. Like, where are we going here, and what's the point? It just seems to be well, they're not. I think it'd be better if they made it up as they went along, but. They seem to have actually written things down, but I'm not sure if any of it makes sense.
oh dear. So, well, folks, it's going to be another roast tonight. Get strapped in. Okay, so we're into this recap, and it's still recap, isn't it? Yes, it's showing where Mando and
So,
Apollo
sorry to
Creed.
interrupt, but I'm in for a real shock if you all love it.
I do, but not for the right reasons. It's been one of my favorite things to review, just because it's so staggeringly bad that it's actually quite comical. It's better than most stand-up comedy. It's like even this, just the recap is introducing problems for the episode, which is that when we all reviewed episode 1, and it's in my 30,000 word script on this as well. Already, as soon as the pirates, he lets one of them go, the town's undefended. They all know it's undefended, but he sends the pirate away specifically to tell the pirate captain that the town doesn't like him anymore. What the fuck did he expect to happen?
I like their confidence that the recap's virtually everything you're going to need to know for this episode because they know no one cares. It's like, oh, they're back tonight. It's sort of like it's like the start of the Muppet Show, or maybe Love Boat, where you get the image of all the guest stars that are going to be on tonight. Like it just lets you know what you're in for the evening. Which would make more sense if they just showed a pile of shit.
I was going to say a little poo emoji would have done the same job.
Large poo emoji. Brownie, Sheafburger's making it rain. Do you want to read out his love letter?
A super chat from Sheafburger in the chat. $20. Thank you, sir. Late to the stream, I'll catch the recap. Nothing will ever change the fake Luke, Han, and Leia.
What?
In one single shot in the sequel trilogy together, unforgivable.
I'm going to do some on this. I think that's the fact that Luke, Han, and Leia were not in one single shot.
Yes, well, as you know, I killed Luke, folks, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. Sorry about that. But look, we're here to talk about
not in a
Mandalorian.
respectful way, too.
Oh, I had to ridicule him and then kill him. But I achieved my goal. Lee with a super sticker. What does that mean, Brown? It's one for the kids, isn't it? Super sticker.
It is. It's just no words needed, just a token of his appreciation.
It's like you're the proverbial beggar, and he's just tossing you a quid as he strolls on by.
According to
There we
some
go.
channels, I am. But moving on.
Okay, we have the Lucasfilm credits, and we're going to get into this actual
Just blast through
episode.
these, yeah.
Blast through this, goddamn it, Brown! You've already spent all day putting it together. Star Wars, folks. We need a reminder because it feels nothing like fucking Star Wars whatsoever. But
Also, just forewarning to the chat, you probably all know this by now already, you've been here long enough, but if Brown starts saying, let's blast through these, we will be here in 3 hours' time. We will still be going.
Oh,
But it's the testament to the quality of the slides and the abysmal quality of the show.
and how long you take answering.
Also that, yeah.
Yes.
Don't tempt me, I'll go even longer.
No, please.
but
I mean, we get through
we've got
episodes
one of the
hard, yeah.
few positives here is some of the visuals. I think we all agree some great visuals on the Mando. And again, we start in is it Navarro?
Yeah, Navarro.
Yes. Yes, we start in Navarro. What the thing that struck me about Navarro, and I'll get Mega Geek's view on this because he is, of course, an esteemed director. He will have many views on how you portray a civilization. So it's referred to as the planet and the city. I think we see about 22 people. Do you think I had a bit of a problem with perspective here? And didn't seem
Big
very
problem.
big. Yeah.
It really this episode really did suck. But again, we said this last week. The special effects are really good. That was about it, really. You know. But yeah,
It's
it
probably the
doesn't look
problem.
like.
It's probably because there's only allowed 15 people in ILM's fancy stagecraft LED studio.
But that's true though, because remember his planet. He said, "My planet's under attack," and it's like, well, it's just the city, really. You know, planet's a huge thing, and he said, I can only count about what 200, maybe 500 people. So
probably an
At the end of it, said
overestimate.
again, he said something like, "Thank you for saving the planet."
yeah, he did.
I thought, geez, we're really losing track of the size of a planet in this show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought.
I counted them.
How many?
49.
There you go.
Oh,
I
I
think
think it
Dave
was the
Filoni's
entire
in there
wardrobe,
somewhere.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Dave Filoni's in there somewhere. I hope he's one of the ones that got blown up.
Brownie, you've skipped ahead just a little bit too far, though. I'm going to
Okay.
insist on you going back maybe a couple, another. Right, that'll do. Because we had Apollo Creed there just discussing city layout, and I'm sure you'll all have a few views on that. But we
Yes.
had a young female there to the right who I think we were told as a engineer or planner or something. Clearly, he's banging her, but I don't care about him. Brownie, what I want to know is, what are your thoughts? And on a scale of 1 to 10, I know, chat, we're going early doors this time. What would you give a Brownie?
We are coming in hot, aren't we?
We're coming in hot. We're not holding
Marks
back.
out of 10, yes?
Marks out of 10 for this young lady. What would you give her
Let me
out of 10?
think.
What would you give her?
How old is she again?
She's probably young enough to be a granddaughter, Brown.
I'd give her 1.
You give her 1. There we go, folks.
These dad jokes are terrible.
There you go.
Sorry, Rob,
everyone who waits for that gag can now log off. Thanks very much. Don't forget a thumbs down on your way out. Okay. Okay, Brown, we move on.
Let's
We've
go.
done that one.
Let's go.
Although, if we are just moving on, it's a little bit weird because episode 1 specifically, there's a line that Grief Karga has saying it's turned into a thriving spaceport, a trade port. It's doing great business. So it's already a bit suspicious that the town is so small. It's an odd definition of thriving.
Yeah,
but it's also a bit peculiar that your thriving spaceport, which is built around trade, and the first scene in this episode is them saying, yeah, we built the trade thing too far away from the spaceport, so we're going to move the entire trade zone, which I don't know how that works. There's a lot of dialogue in this show which is just completely pointless, except insofar as you pay attention to it, and then you realize that it just doesn't make any sense, and furthers my theory that the show would be much better if they just cut all the dialogue out of it.
They just hope that you don't notice. That's the thing. And also, I have relatives that love this show. They think it's brilliant. They think it's a lot of fun, but they don't look deeply, do they? I mean, the story doesn't make any sense. It's stupid, and it's just a waste of everyone's time, in my opinion.
And a
Brownie,
trade port wouldn't want any. Sorry for interrupting.
No, go, robots.
I was just going to say a trade port wouldn't want any protection from the New Republic, who we are quickly finding out are a bunch of assholes. But going it alone seems the best option for a port where just ships are coming and going, and we'll just go it alone, so anyone can just take over at any time.
Wasn't
Sorry
that
if
guy?
I'm ruining the show.
Wasn't that guy in
No, that's
one
my
of the other episodes as well? I think it was season 2. The X-wing pilot fella,
Oh,
Yes.
Mr. Miyagi. Yes.
Mr. Miyagi. Yeah,
Yeah,
wasn't he
yeah.
in? He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's-
Pablo
Yes.
Hidalgo's
I thought so.
self-insert.
He's been in a few episodes.
Is he a visual effects guy in real life? Somebody said to me he was.
Now you're
visual
just
effects
being
guy.
derivative. No, I can't allow that here.
Okay.
I wanted to. The reason I got so excited, I wanted to draw your attention to the wonderful spaceship we saw, Brownie. If you could get us back there or forward there, wherever the hell it was. Princess Fiona calls it the penis cruiser. There we go.
That is a peculiar shaped penis. I don't think I've seen one like
Is
that.
this the ship driven by Pizza the Hut? It is, isn't it? The fella that was in a couple of episodes back, wasn't he?
Yeah.
This is the pirate
thing,
ship,
that
isn't
was
it?
the pirate ship,
Davy
yeah, yeah.
Jones.
I thought that was the Disney Star Cruiser Chaser hotel bollocks.
No, it's got too many people on it.
That's
Oh,
right. That's right. Yeah.
I'm concerned who
Good
Princess
one.
Fiona's been sleeping with.
This looks remarkably like Kathy's special toy that she keeps in a bedside table. But Dark
like a
Side of the
hammer.
Walk, good to see you, sir. He says the pirate ship design, a rip-off of something from 2000 AD. I don't know what anyone thinks of
It
that.
wouldn't work as a penis, though. It's shaped like an anchor. It gets stuck.
It's like a hammer.
But it does look like the Blitz spear from Nemesis the Warlock in 2000 AD. It really does.
I like the graft spray paint scheme.
I beg to differ.
Not that you'd use it in space, but moving on.
He begs to differ, Tim. He indeed has seen many, very many. So, yes.
I'm on this
This-
stream every week after all.
How comes I don't have an army? How comes he doesn't have any security to defend things like this? It's a planet. It's open for open season. Why doesn't he have a
There's only 49 of them, Ian.
It's not any planet. It's a trade planet where there's lots of trade going on. And,
exactly?
all we've got
Stupid.
is 77-year-old Apollo Creed and his red cloak. Oh, Z, I've got to bring you in here. What do you make of this big, shiny, golden droid?
Oh, knock off Chinese rip-off. Wrong head.
Oh, yeah, it's got nice green
do not
eyes,
lie.
though.
Mm,
Lovely green
Zee-ThreePIO
eyes.
from Wish.
yeah.
Tell me this, why is Grief Karga so surprised to see pirates when he just had a gunfight with one of them
That's
recently?
right. That's right.
Do you know, it's like a kind of exposition scene, but, then the droid comes in and said, there's pirates, so that's twice we've told there's pirates. It would have been better if he'd said, that's Gorian Shard ship, and then have the droid come in and say, oh, those awful pirates.
Yeah. Or just,
But what's
just
surprising
hire.
is he doesn't have any security for his planet at all. Do you know what I mean? What did he expect? Not even a shield to protect his planet like they had in one of those Disney Star Wars things. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
his whole strategy was go and tell your pirate captain that my undefended planet thinks he's
Yeah.
a shit and we're respectable now, so stay away. Like, oh, wow. The fear factor, that'll keep them gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm
have the
saying. It
guts to
makes no
pull that
sense.
trigger.
It'd be greatly improved if he went to the cupboard and got out his stars and stripes shorts.
Yeah.
Put in the mouth guard.
Come out and
Start
living
taking up
in
fists.
America.
Living in America.
Oh, we love it. Yes, Flopmeister is commenting on his jet black hair and snow white beard. The curtains don't match the what's the phrase? The curtains don't match
Collars and
The
cuffs.
drapes.
the penis hair. What is it? I don't know. Is he? What colours
Careful.
are his pubes, folks? Should we could quick poll? Match the hair or match the beard? What are we saying?
Beard.
Beard. Okay. Oh,
It
really?
does happen though. It does happen. My brother, he's almost he's in his 40s and his hair is dark, but his beard is grey. And
I think I say his
It does
pubes are
happen.
white.
Yeah, I'm so
about
glad
his-
you
I
said his
wasn't
beard.
gonna go there. Wasn't gonna
Good
go
God. Oh,
there. You
Ian.
just don't know the black anatomy. That's all.
Oh,
There you
moving
go.
on.
yes. Move on rather quickly from that one. So, yes. So he's just hanging out with his droids and his city planners. No defense whatsoever, and they're in trouble, aren't they? And he's gonna find out soon enough.
this is the bit where, well, just before that, he commands them all to evacuate the town. Evacuating the town consists of them all running out of cover through a huge field under a starship doing aerial bombardment, which is not a great plan. And then this bit is another one of those. It's like in Obi-Wan Kenobi when Vader follows Kenobi down to the planet and then says, "Have you come to destroy me?"
Yes.
In this scene, the pirate captain, like voice memo, whatever, he like, appears to Grief Karga, and then he says, "If you don't contact me again unless you're surrendering." It's like, no, but you contacted me the first time. I don't understand how this keeps happening. It's not a difficult thing to fix.
It's just bad writing, that's all. It's like it's written by a 5-year-old, this is, isn't it? Let's face it. Just absolute nonsense. It really is.
I was just going to say, should we do that chat?
Yeah, that was. I thought I'd sneak that in, but absolutely we should do it. Go on, bro.
Genitalia in the chat. Why didn't Grief Karga know that the pirates would be back? He was kind of in the mercenary business himself.
That's because whoever wrote this script is stupid. That's why. Honestly, everything's written so that something can happen, and it doesn't matter how they get there, as long as they get there. That's the feeling I've got. And also, as Blue Boy said in a couple of streams back, it looks like whoever's writing these episodes is not consulting with the person that wrote the previous episode at all. That's what it looks like to me. Anyway, told you it was Pizza the Hut.
Did anyone? I mean, obviously we're doing the whole hologram thing here, but did anyone notice how weird his mouth moved? I mean, he was it was basically like a sock puppet, just open close, open close. There was no articulation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I like how the whole universe speaks English now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we've just ditched any sort of alien language.
Do you know what it reminded me of? You know that big Muppet in the Muppet Show where it's huge, it's like a big monster, and there's a guy in a suit, but its mouth moved like this, like Pizza the Hut's mouth in this one. It's obviously somebody's in there and swinging around that mouth, isn't it? So
I like how you said the big Muppet in the Muppet Show, not the big
yeah,
Muppet
you know
in
this.
CSI.
I can't remember who the Muppet was though. It's huge. It's
You
like
Muppet.
you know that one.
It's like the garbage monster in Fraggle Rock.
Oh yeah, that too. But yeah.
What never fails to surprise me about our stream is that we have people such as George there, and it's good to see your
Hello,
mugshot
George.
there, George. I hope your legal team got you out of that situation with the authorities. But George says, still haven't been watching this season. Am I missing anything? But he still tunes in for the stream all the same. But the short answer is no, George. You're not missing anything, but we'll always bring you fully up to speed. Let's give this episode some credit if we can. It does start with the action, doesn't it? We have a bit of an assault on the city. You know, it's given us something. Can we give it any credits? What do we think?
I quite like Grief Karga being a proper Chad and thinking of his people first, even though his escape pod's ready. He could bail out of that position at any point he wanted to, but his priorities lay with the people in the township. Which
all 25 of them.
Yeah, 24. 22. 21
Although
of them.
I am slightly confused about how an escape pod would have helped him. Because it's not as though you're blasting it out into space. Is it just going to sort of shoot off in an arc and land somewhere in a cliff?
It got blown out of the sky, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
What do we think of this droid? This nice shiny droid? Is it some kind of R5 unit, or I'm sure Z will know.
It does look like an R5 unit.
Yeah.
I remember R5. Robot head. Do you like that robot? Is it your type?
Do you like its head?
It's a big forehead on it. It's sort of putting me off a bit. It's a bit angular. I'd like it rounded off a bit on top. But one of my favourite things to do watching this show is picking which reference or they're going for or which scene they're redoing. And the second he did this in the exact same pose as Leia doing the touch, it was like, right, he's sending a message. Here we go. And I like that Leia had to do it because she was, stuck in a situation and needed rescuing, where he's got his whole office and computers and everything going on, but he calls over the mech droid to send the message. It just seems very odd.
Smilex in the chat says, it looks like the tip of a tube of super glue. Very,
a bit.
Very nice observation. Okay, so he's recording his message. But oh, by the way, we're in the treble figures on the watches, folks.
Oh, yes. Get
I
in.
just noticed someone in chat has just remembered that this planet is, largely covered in lava, and now I've got in my head an alternate universe in which he gets in the escape pod and flies off and just lands in the lava river and dies. Roll credits.
So keep it going, Brownie. Let's see.
Yes.
Let's get to the good stuff. Here we go. The gun
Oh, here we
turrets. Now, what do the gun turrets remind me of? I mean, we've seen these before, I'm sure. I know it's a reference, probably going way back to the kind of World War II planes.
Gangbusters, something like that.
Yeah, where have we seen this before in Star Wars? Someone will know.
That stupid Disney thing.
Did you use any of these turret things in the Last Jedi bombers by any chance? Or the ship like that?
Bombers.
Yes, it was the Fit Tico, wasn't it? Was the Fit Tico in one of these things?
Fit Tico.
The Fit Tico. Not the Rose Tico, the other Tico.
Yeah. The good-looking one.
Page
Oh,
Tico.
the Fit Tico.
Fit Tico.
Oh, right, okay.
What do you think I said? The Sith Tico?
No, I thought you were saying the Fat Tico, but there you go.
Fat Tico.
Well, there. It's not that one,
Jesus.
is it? It's the other one.
No, not the Fat
Rose.
Tico, the other one. Some terrible acting by the extras here. I'm sure you appreciate this, Mega Geek. Some
Oh, God, yeah.
standard running away. And
Is this the entire wardrobe department?
Does
on
look like
set?
it, doesn't it? It does look like it. It's just...
So effectively, they've got 50 outfits.
But seriously, though, like, this is his planet and he's got like 400 people on it. It's just... It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No.
It's just... the whole thing is just
We can
bad.
say that a lot.
There's no air defenses, there's no security, there's no fighter screen. It is just sitting there waiting for this to happen. These people deserve to die.
Oh my God, it looks like Concorde.
it does look like Concorde. You've nailed it, Ian.
Oh
That's
my
what it
God.
was.
The one that was on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Wow, it's like Concorde.
Oh, dear.
Through no fault of its own.
Old friend Drunk 3PO in the
Aw.
chat saying, doffing his cap and
My
saying
God.
hello to us all.
We are
and,
honoured.
yeah,
The
he's
most
Hello,
amazing
Mr.
man on
3PO,
YouTube.
how you
Come
doing,
fine.
pal?
come via robot head,
I will
yeah.
take the opportunity. Jay, would you like to come on one of these one week?
Get him on. Come on,
Please.
Drunk. I want to catch up with you, sir. I'm sure we can do something there. Yeah, it is very Concorde. Great spot. I like that. So it starts shooting the shit out of the city. We get some fairly standard explosions nowhere near anyone, which sends everyone flying.
He didn't really need a spaceship here, did he? If so few people, he could have run him down with a deer-edged Nissan Micra if he felt like it.
But also the timing as well. For instance, they get attacked, right? And then that, what's his name, Mr. Miyagi, has that chat. Then he flies to Mando. And when Mando comes, they're still attacking. They finish attacking. So what's the space of time between them both?
There
Between
isn't,
it
because
all?
hyperspace in this show just acts as like jumping from place to place as opposed to actually traveling. So you can go what should take several days to do, you can do in about 5 minutes. And the in-universe clock just doesn't move while the characters are off screen, which is always a sign of really shitty writing.
Yeah, I was just confused on that. I'm like, isn't it going to take them 5 days to get there? But it didn't. It just took them 15 minutes, I think. Something like that. It's ridiculous.
I don't want to go back in time, but nothing will beat Grogu going for help.
Yes, yes.
That was insane.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? It really was. Very silly. Yeah, I don't know how it works in this Star Wars universe, put it that way.
At least that was funny, City, though. I think my biggest disappointment with this episode is that they've been consistently getting worse in more entertaining ways. I don't think this episode's more entertaining than the last one. The last one was just funny. This one kind of just is.
This was a bit of a slog, this one. The other ones were, more humorous, I suppose.
I thought the other one was a bit was fun, even though it was as dumb as a box of frogs. The story, but I mean, the other episode was fun to watch. This one, the special effects is really good in it, but it's not fun to watch. There was no danger whatsoever involved in it, especially when the Mandalorians turned up. You didn't feel any threat at all. You didn't think one of them was going to get killed. Nothing. You know what I mean? It's just nonsense.
I'm not reading that. No, get rid of it, Brown. Give me his $1.99 back for goddamn sake. I'm not having it.
Sorry about your trilogy ruin. You're not getting it now. It's been cancelled, hasn't it?
Well, that's not official, and if Kathy would just pick up the phone and have a word with Bob, I'm sure we could get it back on track. But
A lot of
let's
people are
not
saying
talk
her
about
days are
that.
numbered. Ruin. A lot of people are saying her days are numbered.
Yeah, but that's just life expectancy.
So here we have a protocol droid Z. It's a
Proper
white
protocol
3PO, a white privileged 3PO. What do
White
you make of
privilege.
this?
They get
Wasn't-
access to everything, don't they?
Wasn't the white one in Empire Strikes Back?
The white one was on the rebel base off.
Oh,
He was,
Yeah.
yeah.
On Collier
Yeah, I
in the
remember.
building.
it's like
Silver
an
one.
unpainted.
An Empire.
Wasn't the white one? Didn't the white one tell off C-3PO when he was before he got?
That was a silver one.
Well, that was
on
a what?
Bespin.
It was silver.
Oh, silver. Okay,
Smilex in the chat says, Ichuta.
that's
How
it. Yeah,
rude.
yeah. How rude.
Ian thinks all the white C-3POs look the same, don't you?
Hey,
Ian?
they all
We
look the same to me, mate.
Princess Fiona's getting excited. She says, I hope this isn't going to get us banned, Brownie. She says, the fat pilot is Captain X-Wang.
Oh no! Oh
I
no!
just see Pablo when that guy's on screen.
That's why we love Princess Fiona. That's why we
We
love
do.
her. She
Put
comes up
the
with those.
gin away, Princess Fiona. You've gone early with the, the shtick.
Another R2 unit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's got
another
like
R2.
servant thing on top of his head as well.
I thought it was like a
servant drink.
megaphone.
Mega Geek.
No, megaphone.
Mega Geek,
Like a
megaphone.
phone.
You know, like
I mean-
a speaker.
Oh,
Looks like
Is
a
that what
Sorry.
it is?
I was distracted by the one on the right who's got her norks out.
Oh,
oh gosh! I didn't notice that.
I did.
Very well
God.
spotted.
no, yeah. No wonder it took Brown 7 hours to do this. He stopped on this still for about 3 hours.
Moving on.
Wow. There we go. Well, back to the penis ship. So, any love for the pirate penis ship or
No.
not?
No, I think it looks fantastic.
Oh,
I still prefer
This-
the other
Because it
ship.
looks like a penis.
It looks like Concorde.
Stream killer.
Boom!
oh. Well,
The best shot of the show.
That's somebody vomiting after they've seen the episode all over the screen.
How long did it take you to get that slide, Brown?
0 seconds, ironically.
Oh,
droid
but it
lives
was
matter.
so important that you had to include it. Okay.
Yes. Moving on.
Not the best visual effects we've seen on this show. So we're now in the post-attack city, and the people are fleeing just out into the desert. I mean,
This is the point
that
at which they
crowd.
should all be killed. Because
Exactly.
any self-respecting pirate captain, he's not there to destroy buildings, because what's the point of taking over the planet if you're just going to trash it? If you're going to, the best thing to do, you drive them all out, as you've just done, and you mow them down in the fields, and then the
right.
planet is yours, and you will be fine, and you get to use all the resources that you haven't blown up needlessly. But it's a Disney show, and so we can't genocide civilians, which is a real shame.
it'd be like shooting swamp rats in back home in the what's the saying?
I don't know.
Shooting swamp
Beggars
rats in
Alley
a
or something?
bucket.
I don't
What's
know.
the saying?
Wombats in Beggar's Canyon.
Swamp rats in
you
Beggars
see?
Canyon.
I knew
I didn't watch
Steve
those
would come
fucking
up with
Lucas films. I only watched the Disney films. Movie cynics in the chat, folks. Oh,
Oh,
and he's gone
sorry.
again. Bring him
Sorry.
back, Brown.
Great shit.
This is falling apart quickly.
Bring him
folks.
back, Brown, because he hasn't used the C word for once. Brown wonders why it takes him so long to collect slides. Shows a blob of shit.
Unlike you, movie cynic, I'm a professional.
God, don't
moving
get
on.
him started.
This looks very stagecraft, doesn't it?
But the thing is, they're running out into the desert. What do they expect? They're running out into the desert. What, they're going to die in the desert? You know what I mean? It's like, well, this is stupid. All of it is stupid.
I mean, MJ's kind of reinforcing my earlier point. It just doesn't feel like a city under attack, and it just feels like about 15 people.
That guy looks
don't
like
know.
Scottish gym mat or something. His yoga mat he's running with there, isn't it? It's just weird. Weird. What are they running with? It's crazy.
Just whatever they can find.
Exactly.
Is that it's not the ice cream bucket, is it, that she's holding, or something
Don't
very
know.
similar?
A derivative. Dusty bin, maybe. UK
Yeah.
folk.
Well, somebody better have the wok.
I haven't seen one yet, though. Oh,
Oh, Brown, what's happened?
that's when it starts. Ba-boom.
That's not the credits, is it? Oh my word!
yes,
The
it
title.
No, it's the beginning.
Oh
the
right.
beginning,
Well,
yeah.
I love how they reinforce this as a pirate episode by throwing in some nautical accordion.
Mm.
Did any of you catch that at all?
I didn't actually know.
Oh dear.
We need some.
Every episode's pirated episode, isn't it?
But yeah, right. When they do
Legend.
this bit, they've thrown in a bit of accordion on top of these.
Bit of sea
Just so you know, it's the fucking pirates again.
Princess Fiona wants to know why you sound sober, Robot Ed. I think it's because it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And I'm still regretting that decision. This is the first time I've been on a stream. I actually haven't been on a stream since sometime last year, but
Wow.
first time I've been on sober. So yes, it's
And you're going through
It's
this
risking a
goddamn
lot.
thing, scene by scene. Yes, we got him sober, folks. We've pinned him down and we're forcing him through this. So, roll title credits. We're just getting warmed up here, man babies. This episode is called Chapter 21, The Pirates. But not for
Right.
very long. They kind of did the snoke on him, didn't they? He didn't stick around for long, I'm afraid.
There could
But
be
then-
a really fun little subplot that we don't ever get because it would be fun. But one of the villagers picks up IG-11's broken head because they've been told how important this droid is. And they're
Yeah.
still under the impression that Mando's going to come back and fix it and it's vitally important for the rest of the story. Then he turns up and says, oh no, I bought a different one after all. And then they're just going to be incredibly pissed off at him, like I am at the show for having just completely wasted its own first episode with its second episode.
Yeah. Is this the bit where we go to the bar and meet
Yeah.
Mr. Miyagi? But there's a good
Yes.
visual effect of the big alien that he was talking to. I thought that was quite a good visual
Yeah.
effect.
I remember Y-Wings.
Also, the director of this episode did what you, Rowan, did not do and remembered
Yeah.
that the rebels have Y-wings.
Oh,
So,
you don't need Y-wings when you can have those fantastic lumbering slow bombers. Oh.
Willie or Wunty.
Space horses. Yeah.
Here you go, folks. Willie or Wunty. Oh, look.
Willie or
Y-Wings.
That's a drink for a member berry, folks. Have a double on me. Yeah, so we go to what's if Brownie would just move this along a little bit
Let's
quicker
go.
because I've got a holiday next month, Brown. That's getting closer. Yeah, we do end up at this rather nice. It's kind of like I imagine. You have the police bars which are frequented by police. It's like the equivalents for the
It's
rebel
like the
police, isn't it?
Top Gun bar in Maverick.
Yeah.
Does a bit, yeah. I like his jacket though, Mr. Miyagi's jacket. I think it's quite cool.
Yeah. So Mr. Miyagi again, white goatee, black pubes.
Goatee.
Is that what we're saying?
Possibly, yes, I think so, yes.
I was just more distracted by his ability to convey absolutely no facial expressions at all
Yeah.
throughout the entirety of the episode.
I don't think he's an actor though. That's the thing. I was told.
No, he certainly is not an actor. I can confirm
No,
that.
he's a pilot.
Yeah,
No, he's got his own show, hasn't he?
I think.
Has
So.
he?
I don't know. Somebody
Yeah.
told me a long time ago. Yeah.
I remember looking it up when he first came in, and it's like it's a convenience store comedy show where he runs the
Oh, of
convenience store.
course. Somebody told me that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll be checking that out for sure.
Appion just rubbing it in there. Yes, okay. Y-wing, whatever. I'm quite interested on the barmaid. I'm not going to ask Brown would he give her one, but is the barmaid
Zero.
what species is the barmaid? Is it?
Ugly species. I don't know.
She's a Snivens, like
Oh.
Snaggletooth.
Oh, blimey! You know.
Oh, a
everything, don't you,
snaggletooth.
Zee?
Yes.
My God,
You know
your
everything,
shit.
mate. Yeah, you know your
See.
shit, pal.
Yep. Well, he's a protocol droid. That's why we have him on.
This is like I'm asking, can I borrow the phone, please, in the bar, isn't it? Can
Yeah.
I just use your phone, kind of thing. So
Remember as a kid, you'd see Han Solo and want to go home and play that
Be Han
character
Solo.
because he was so
Yeah.
cool and suave and debonair and just was a ladies' man.
Yep.
And we have this guy.
yeah,
Yes, I can't wait to get the action figure of the old bald Chinese man in the leather jacket looking
That's-
all
but
sad
that's-
and jaded, and
But that's what I've been saying for ages, that Star Wars and all these, most of the stuff that's come out, it's all a boys' own stuff. And what they're trying to do is take it away from the boys and create it for some audience that doesn't exist. If I was casting this, I'd have some really good looking people in there. Do you know what I mean? Because people aspire to be good. That's their dream, isn't it? To be loved and admired and cool. And I mean, Han Solo was the man when we first saw Han Solo when I was a kid. I wanted to be Han Solo more so than Luke, actually. But yeah,
it's meant to be escapism, not escape down to the local shops.
yeah.
the chat have picked up on a little bit of chemistry in the panel between our very own two metalheads, Z and Robot. What I want to know is, do you chaps follow the Mandalorian code? You keep your helmets on?
Mine unscrews in its various different sizes. So
Right.
I have to keep the helmet on, but I do have several pairs of genitalia.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
One for each of us. There we go, folks. Don't forget we're on OnlyFans at the Brown
lucky
Alliance. Make sure you catch us up on there. So Brownie, let's dwell on him for a bit longer, shall we? We've got all day.
I like him.
Right. Someone only joking, Brown. You've done a fantastic job. Someone with more knowledge on who the fuck this guy is needs to help me out here, because people are getting excited. Who is he?
it's Garazeb Zebarillius, voiced by Steve Blum. He's one of the lead characters from the Star Wars Rebels animated series.
Oh,
I actually recognised his voice the moment he started speaking.
really good effects, though. I can actually believe that's there. It's crazy good, isn't it, for a TV show?
His original character design, I think, is what they had for Chewbacca when they were designing Star Wars. That was his original prototype design, which they later made into a character for Star Wars Rebels, and it was great to see him.
Princess Fiona says it is racist to assume the only two robots on the panel are hooking up.
We'll say thank you, Keyhammer. $5. Thank you, sir.
So let's check your
Alright.
privilege, folks. So what's the conversation these two fags are having?
Did you say fags?
That's the species, isn't it?
Oh, sorry. I was like, what?
Demonetization gone.
It's fine. I'll extend the F word past retroactively. You're all allowed to say it now. The conversation is, they've got the thing, they've got the message. The town's under attack, so he needs to page someone on Coruscant to get permission to go and find it. And is told, well, Coruscant hasn't responded to one of our requests for weeks, so good luck. So he says, well, I'm going to fly all the way there in person because that won't take as long. So that's what he does. And in this galaxy, it genuinely doesn't take as long. He can get there in about 2 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense, does it? I mean, as I said, they attack. So when they go back to the planet, everybody will be dead. You know what I mean? It's like it only took him 50. It looks like it only took him 2 minutes to get there.
He's not even in a hurry. He's just strolling down
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
Stopped at the shop's got that leather jacket on the way.
So we briefly saw him in the X-Wing, didn't we? And he's travelled to... where did he travel to?
He's gone to Coruscant, hasn't he?
He's gone to Coruscant. He's gone to, to speak to the bigwigs of the New Republic.
Yes, he's off to see Colonel Tuttle, which I'm not entirely sure is a Brazil reference.
If you look carefully, you can see the edge of the LED wall.
Where?
You know the first kind of on the right. There's like a kind of big fancy piece of brickwork that comes up. If you look from that and go all the way, literally to where the person on the left is walking, that's the seam.
Hey,
I'll take your word for that.
You can see it, can't you, Robot Head? I can see it.
Yeah.
Nice shot of the egg in the nest here as well. I thought.
Isn't on the distance point, the show, again, because its dialogue is just designed to ruin it, actually takes the time to emphasize how far apart these things are, because they have the conversation, I think, with... is it the conversation in the bar, or is it the conversation with the pirate? Anyway, when they say that the New Republic can't even defend its own mid-rim planets, And they then go on to inform us that Navarro is in the Outer Rim. So it's a long, long, long way away. It's far beyond the Republic's ability even to defend its external borders, which are much closer to Coruscant than he's just come from. So, yeah, the show, yet again, going out of its way to make sure that anyone paying attention can't enjoy it.
Now we do get one of our favourite characters of all
Gina
of Disney
Carano,
Star
everybody.
Wars.
Gina Carano.
Yes,
Gina
and
Keeble.
Don't
I want to
upset
hear
Godfrey like that.
Robot's head's take on it, because obviously we got stuck in proverbially in one of the earlier streams. But Robot's head, did you enjoy this new addition to the Disney Star Wars cast of characters?
Oh, I'm loving them so much.
All of them.
Yes, I don't want to offend anyone, but the range of her acting is incredible, and the fact that we have no idea if she's good or bad, like they're not projecting anything, they're not screaming at us that she's really not very nice at all the whole time. So I find her very uncomfortable to watch. When she was with the Doctor, I'm getting mixed up which episodes because I'm behind in reviewing them myself, even though I've watched them. I wasn't sure if they were meant to be flirting or mates or pals, or I never.
Oh, no,
never
the
know how
relationship
people-
between her and the Doctor, that's her supposed to be doing a confidence trick. So she's kind of flirting with him to get him to open up, because the idea the episode is going for is that she's the one human thing he can attach himself to, which makes him much easier for her to manipulate.
It
But
was so uncomfortable because the flirting was so out of place. And
yeah,
between
And you
two
knew she
people
wasn't flirting with him because she looks like a geezer. So, you know
Yes.
what I mean?
The
So that was
pronouns.
never going to
Hey.
happen, wasn't it?
We-
You know, because of Disney's history with women.
Looks like a geezer.
It does look like a geezer, doesn't it?
You just
I'll tell you.
misgendered they, them.
Well, what am I supposed to call
Don't
him?
go
her,
down that
if-
rabbit hole.
But,
That's
you know,
the-
she, he,
Oh,
whatever. You know, so I'm
It's all very
confused.
confusing. Yeah.
E
we
equals
just keep going down
MCG.
these depressing laneways. We're so far removed from Star Wars. We're never getting back from here. Everything's
No.
just dark and depressing, and the
It
characters
is.
are horrible, and you can't relate to anyone. It's just, yeah. So
This guy
I mean, she
reminds me
doesn't-
of Sammy Davis Jr., by the way.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly. Yeah.
Ah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, that's a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a nice R5 units, nice yellow R5 units. There we go.
Which was useless because he put the thing on it. Said, "Don't put that
No,
on the
it's-
table," and it did.
it's not useless. It's my favorite character because it has roughly the same attitude to the show as I do. It's like, don't do that. Fuck, I don't care.
I've just noticed, all the R5 units, they're all rainbow colours. I've just noticed.
Oh no! Please don't bring that up. Oh.
Yellow, red, green, blue.
These are all colours. Yes, well done.
I've just noticed.
That's a bit of a stretch, Brownie.
Yeah.
Power Rangers.
Well, listen, I spent 8 hours doing the slides. Trust me, it's true.
Stretch.
Moving on. Oh, okay. Then.
So,
Moving on.
so Pilot Miyagi's come to this. What do you, Sammy Davis Jr. for basically for some assistance. He wants some formal assistance from the New Republic, doesn't he? What's Greedo doing in the background? Everyone, I must have missed that bit.
He's the receptionist.
She's like, yeah, that's it.
Oh, reception.
Yeah.
Greedo's doing reception
She.
duties now.
It's a she.
Sorry.
How do you know it's a she?
Shido.
Because it looks very feminine. You
Oh.
can tell there's a girl in there.
No, Ian, you're assuming it's female because you're a receptionist. I'm on to you.
It could be a them.
Hooligan S3, Brian, can you, because we've got an Australian guest on today, could you read out Hooligan S3's message in the style of Steele Saunders, please, Brian?
Oh,
Hooligan S3 in the chat says they are portraying the New Republic as so inept. The sequel First Order, Empire 2.0, is a welcome return to a fucking functional government.
What do you make of that, Robot Head?
Amazing. I was quite impressed by that.
Welcome to patronising the guest on the Mr. Brownlands channel.
I've been waiting for that all show. So, So he gets nowhere, does he, basically? He doesn't get anywhere, doesn't get any help. He doesn't even watch the fall. I thought for a moment they were going to make us sit through the whole goddamn hologram message for a second time, but...
Because he's saying that there's some bad shit going on the Outer Rim, didn't he?
God,
The Empires. What did he say? TIE fighters flying over...
Oh, okay.
et cetera,
So
et cetera.
this is the way in which this show just doesn't add up. It doesn't really give a shit how it gets to places. So his whole theory, which is that has just been invented in the gap between the scenes, is that it's not just that the planet's been attacked. It's that because the planet was once attacked by an Imperial warlord who owned it, the fact that it's been attacked by a pirate captain is linked for no discernible reason. That's his conclusion.
Tenuous at best.
It's only there because that's what the episode needs to happen.
Yeah.
But there's no reason for the character to make that supposition at all. It just makes no sense.
It's the same stretch as Deirdre makes in Andor about the rebellion starting up.
I don't recall that one. I'll take your word for it.
Oh, Brian,
Oh,
wow.
that's fighting talk.
Yeah.
Or 5G and
Brian's
COVID.
on his fifth iron brew. He's hyped. Pulling all kinds of references out of his arse. Z, can I get you to read Smilex's rather interesting side story?
Indeed, Smilex in the chat says, did I mention that I once wore a Greedo mask while having sex? She's an ex now, in case that wasn't already clear.
Was that the final straw, do we think? Was that the thing that finally paid?
Jeez.
Yeah.
I wonder if she shot first.
Probably.
Just think it would have all been fine if you'd worn your Chewy mask, but you had to go for Greedo and fucked it up anyway. Never mind. We move on, and Miyagi's getting nowhere, is he?
No,
He's
he's
very
not.
suspicious of her.
He's suspicious of her in particular.
And then
She's
who?
brought in. That's
There you
the
go.
badge of the person in the rehab clinic.
Is that the
so you know
LGBT
she's
badge?
ex-imperial. It's the
Operation
progress imperial
Paperclip.
flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the idea that the New Republic is bogged down in bureaucracy the same way
Oh,
as
nice.
the former
Nice.
Republic.
Mm.
You think they would have learned the lessons by now?
You would,
True.
but it was always interesting how they were going to do that because I mean, the last episode 3 even clearly doesn't know really how evil it wants the New Republic to look because at parts it looks like it's just replicating the Empire one for one. You know, it's got psychological torture devices. It's dehumanizing its prisoners. The analogies are obviously there. In other moments like this one, they're portraying it as just being, bogged down in bureaucracy and essentially replicating the flaws of the Republic. And that's the kind of that's closest to characterization as we got of the New Republic in the sequel trilogy, which is obviously what they have to build toward. So I guess they'll just stick with that for a while. I don't remember in the old expanded universe how it was portrayed toward the end. I thought there were equivalent sort of frustrations with its inefficiencies and inactivities, but Z, you're probably best placed to correct me on that one.
No.
No, okay then.
It amazes
Brown,
me that this is...
can we do another 20 minutes on this slide as well? Why
No,
you don't mind? Just-
Robot?
I was
on,
just going to say, it amazes me that because J.J. Abrams was so stupid and just wanted to reset everything with the goodies and baddies and the Empire's back and we'll just call them the New Order, all these shows now have this problem of aiming to that. So, like, they have to make the New Republic horrible and they have to do, like, just force in all these issues and problems just so they can get it back to how we'd possibly have a full Empire back by the start of Force Awakens. So it's just shoving all this crap into this little time zone that they've got to get all this stuff done. It's just a horrible way to make a show.
Yeah, it is.
They're so like locked into this bloody horrible story.
I also
Sorry,
like
Ruin,
how
I know I don't want to upset you with your film plans, but
No, go on, please.
I also like how their whole complaint here is they have lack of resources, and the previous episode shows them wantonly decommissioning captured Star Destroyers that they could be using to capture these planets.
This guy has a funny head, doesn't he? Look how thin his head is. It's really long.
He would have made a good. What was the guy off?
Cleveland.
Oh God.
Family Guy.
No. What's the guy off the? He was one of fucking Captain Wok's mates. Come on, help me out. Whitehead. round head, should have been thin like this
the
guy.
Inquisitor.
The Inquisitor, thank you, Z.
Grand
Would have made a good Inquisitor with that thin head of his. What's with the badges he's wearing? Is he one McDonald's badge star short of the full set?
It is, looks like it.
This is heart medication. He's going to take it 5 times a day.
He's got round buttons now instead of square ones.
Oh,
They're his fridge magnets. He's got to keep them somewhere.
So the conversation continues with they, them, and wax on, wax off, and she's is she? What would you say? She's taunting him or mocking him or
controlling him.
He, she, him, wherever. You know, she's a bit. Do you know what I mean?
1 hour.
Quite clearly being a fifth columnist for the First Order. So why are they even letting her into these meetings?
Exactly. Well, she came in on her own accord, didn't she?
Barged in,
Well, she's the perfect reformed candidate, even though that she's the prime suspect and the mind fuck of the Doctor in the previous episode. So anyway, but this is all just designed to convince the audience that she's secretly a villain, even though it's so transparent that she's a villain that it's not secret at all. But there's another dialogue fault in it, because the argument here is that she says that she was liberated. She wasn't captured, she was liberated. In an argument against going to liberate this planet. That's her punchline. She wants to not go and liberate the planet. And this is because of her insights having been liberated herself, which is just, word choice doesn't match scene. Again, well done, writers.
Also, right, you know when she turned that dial up to fry that guy's brain, right? How comes there's no comeback on that? You know,
because
she was
it happened
the only
in the
one
previous
in the room.
episode, so we've forgotten it already. That's
I'm just saying, she should be arrested. She was the only one in the room. The only one who could have fried his brain was her. So why is she arrested?
Maybe they just haven't found him yet. Maybe he's still there.
All over the dial and dash. Yellow trail of
fingerprints are on the dial, and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. She should be in jail, right, or something.
Look, I do need to point of clarification, because there's been a lot of pronouns thrown around and all kinds of misinformation. We do have someone who's clarified her correct moniker. So, Brownie, would you do the honours, please? Could you read out the correct description for this character?
Obi-Wan, the dark side, Lady Geezer. Yeah,
that's what she is. She's a Lady Geezer.
We've had that clarified. I've just been in touch with the officials at Disney. There we go. So we'll use a correct term.
If I may, question for Robot Head.
Yes.
Seasons 1 and 2, we've all said that while it's not true Star Wars, we kind of looked forward to watching the next episode, and considering what we've had, it was reasonable. We've been saying there's a serious drop-off this season. And we think there's something going on in the background, because surely Favreau, from writing those reasonably decent scripts, it's just the wheels have fallen off. We think there's something going on in the background. What do you think?
Yeah, I described it in videos like just dropping off a cliff. Like my original problems with the series was just, again, setting it in that when it's set and just taking in Yoda and shrinking him and taking Boba Fett and making him silver and just all these obvious choices. But as the series went along, like, you could sit and enjoy it. There was an actual story going along. But it's like they were planning on finishing at the end of season 2, and then Kathleen said, "We've got to keep Baby Yoda going," or something. But it's like the writing's getting just shipped off to China to get written by sort of bots or something. There's just like no writing. It's I don't know if anyone's watched my latest video, which I'm going to promote now to the audience. But I talked a lot about it being a lot of, it's all just tell, like no show.
I watched that.
Yeah, we're just doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this. We're doing this. And it's so jarring and hard to watch. Like I don't care about anyone. I don't care about what's going on. But back to what you're saying about it being behind the scenes, there just seems to be, it just feels weird. I just can't work out what is going on. If unless they've all just said, let's just make this horrible so Kathleen gets fired,
Can I ask a
You-
question? So have we actually found out that is it one person or three people writing all the episodes, or is it just one person per episode that's
I
writing?
think it's Fav who's writing.
This one is
most of them.
Favreau. Favreau is writing most of them in this season. Occasionally, he's got people working with him. So, episode 3 was done by one of the people who did Book of Boba Fett. I think you could tell. This one is just Favreau on the
Well,
credits.
that makes
at
it
least.
worse, right? Because he's not following his own story. He's just
Exactly,
basically
like-
making up as he goes along.
I think
I can't work out how he can't follow his own story
Exactly.
when the story is so basic too. It's like, yeah, he's not following like a Game of Thrones cast and stories and trying to get them all together. It's just one story that he just can't get right.
But doesn't he play that big fella with the big machine gun on his back?
He does.
Oh,
So
does he?
maybe,
That big
yeah. So
motherfucker,
maybe I don't know. Maybe there's a ghostwriter.
Maybe
right, and he
he's too
hasn't
busy
explained
playing
it to him or something.
cosplay. Super chat from Princess Fiona, $2. Thank you, darling. Not a scene, but an excuse to get to the next set.
Yeah, she may be right, because it does have a lot of good set pieces, visual effects wise and stuff. But the story's just dire. It's really awful. Oh my God, has he got a Polaroid camera there? What's going on?
maybe he's
I'd
seen
be
the.
interested.
Member Berry.
I'd be interested to know too how the different directors work because, like in other shows where they have different directors come in and they're virtually just directing that scene. But this show feels like the directors get to take away their story and work on it, and then come back and make that episode on its own. Like you said, it doesn't fit with any other episode.
No, it doesn't, and they forget about certain things in episodes as well, which should carry through to the next episode, but it doesn't. It's just suddenly gone, like the robot that they were trying to repair in the first one. Suddenly, that's a memory now. It's all gone. It's just-
Robots.
that creature looks like he's got Darth Vader's mask on, but it's
My theory for all of this is that Favreau has figured out the only way, under Kathleen Kennedy, the only way you are likely to be given a feature film all the way through is to turn in the most monumentally abysmal script you can come up with, and then she might actually give you a film for that.
If I may, Robot Head, are you available to read a chat from Appion, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Fav wrote this on the shitter in 10 minutes. I think you're giving him too much credit.
Moving on.
And he seems to have an obsession with penises. You're looking at this scene.
But there it looks like Darth Vader's mask, doesn't it? That creature.
No,
Mm.
it looks
Weird.
like the helmet's been taken off.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
but the head has stayed in this like a cartoon. Stayed in the same shape as the helmet.
It's horrible. Oh, dear.
Link to Robot Head's latest video in the chat there,
thank you very
folks.
much.
So get on that one. We do love his YouTube channel. So basically, we're in the desert, aren't we? Just to bring us back, there's the entire planet there, folks. The entire population of the planet.
That's 4949 people.
Maybe they ran out of visual effects people to do loads more people in the background. Maybe they just forgot to do it. I don't know.
I think we've got a solution to the migrant crisis. We can send them all to Navarro. There's plenty of room on there. Send the boats there.
We've got super chat, folks.
Super chat. Oh, go on. To me,
hey,
to you.
would you blow me? £2. That's real money, folks. How many caffeinated WD-40s has a Robot Head had so far?
I've only had one, but I'm in need of a second one. So one so far.
He's taking it easy. So Grief is he showing good leadership here? Is he hasn't got or does he not have a clue what he's fucking doing?
So.
Which
yeah,
one?
I think so.
You think so?
Imagine
Okay.
looking at this guy, and this is his plan every time they get attacked. They've got nothing. Like he doesn't have even a bus for everyone to get on to get him away.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just run, and no one picked up anything. He hasn't got supplies. He hasn't got a gun. He hasn't got anything.
Wouldn't it be good as if as they're walking through the desert and they're all looking haggard and tired, they kind of turn a corner and there's the Statue of Liberty buried in the sand.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy that you're right. Nobody brought anything. They don't have an exit strategy. They don't have like a ship that'll take them somewhere else.
They didn't even need to buy
Nothing.
anything. Remember, these guys defeated a huge Imperial garrison on this planet just a couple of seasons ago. Did they just throw all of the guns into the lava river and have done?
And I was thinking when they left this, and seriously, this show just leaves my brain and the other season, so I might be missing something here. But that big facility that the Empire had, that when Gina Carano was still in this and they took it on, wouldn't that be just sitting there? Couldn't they use that as a bunker, or did they blow it up?
Don't know.
Where they were doing the cloning.
Oh, no, doesn't that one explode because they press a button and that floods it with lava because, it's a really sensibly
maybe that's what
well
happened.
constructed
I couldn't remember
facility.
what happened to it. But I thought, why don't they head there and use it as like a shelter?
And
Yeah,
also,
there
the
must-
Mandalorians, like, when the ship arrives, how come they haven't got, like,
X-Wings.
guns or something like that? Because, like, anything can attack them from above. How come they didn't have... This whole show is just rubbish, isn't it? Let's face it. It's just absolute nonsense.
This was the most amazing bit when this guy turns up at the Mando cave.
Oh, yes.
The reason he got there doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Oh, I'll let you get
It's
to
the
it.
random droid that Mando just
Yes.
happened to buy, used to belong to him, and he managed to contact it. Like, why would he even know to be looking for this particular
Yeah,
droid? He doesn't know Mando's
I
bought
know.
the thing.
I know.
Hadn't he got his Christmas card that year and he thought something was up? Like, are they still in touch? Do they send each other family photo? Because as far as I know, that droid was living with the Scarecrow on
But
Tatooine.
how did he find them, though?
That was it. He pinged the droid.
Oh, gosh, yes, of course.
But why? Like, they used to, like, why that droid? Like, why did he think?
Oh.
I think it was the
ask
other way
where it
around.
was.
I think R5 just went, you never guess where I am.
But also, right, they weren't friends, were they? I mean, he did let him off in the end. I can't remember that episode where they were stuck with the big spider and all that. And he did let him off, but you wouldn't class them as friends or anything. And suddenly,
He owed him one.
He's his
Even
friend.
that was a bit dicey because Mando's ship is in absolute ruins. This
Yeah.
guy lands on the ice planet and shoots
yeah.
the spiders, and then leaves him
Leaves
with a
him,
ship
yeah.
that, for all he
Wife
knows,
and-
doesn't
yeah.
work anymore.
Yeah.
Was a mum with her children.
that's what I'm saying. It's highly unlikely. Anyway, this doesn't make any sense.
See,
It's-
there you go, folks.
But that droid
Green.
had been with that Scarecrow woman, the mechanic, for
Yeah.
years.
Mhm.
Like, there was just no reason at all for them to communicate. It's such a weird connection to make.
I got the feeling this was blue, really, and they just
Green
colored
robots.
it in
We've
post.
had yellow, we've had
Yeah,
red.
I reckon they
I
colored it
swear.
in post. It doesn't look right. Anyway,
We need purple.
Getting some political posts in the chat there. Don't want to go there, Brown, but someone comparing
Pass.
Grief Karga to a slightly more awake Joe Biden, and someone else saying, make Navarro great again. So,
Ice cream, folks. I love ice cream.
so we go to the Mando cave, don't we? And Mr. Miyagi in the orange jumpsuits, he doesn't get a very warm welcome, does he, when he rocks up? I mean, he doesn't. Thankfully, he doesn't get gobbled up by the sea creature.
Yeah.
that's
Or
true.
taken away by the dragon. Oh no, they can't.
Question: where were the chicks from last week?
No, they were in the last episode, so they don't exist anymore. We forgot about those.
Oh, is that what it
yes.
is?
Yeah.
No, that would involve continuity, Brown. We don't do that at Disney.
It'd be funny if he came out of his X-wing and suddenly that big dragon thing came along and grabbed him.
Swims him away. It would. It would. And then basically we replicate the whole of last week's
Exactly,
episode.
trying to get him back.
Yeah. Now that's writing, folks. That's how you do it. So the Mandos, they're kind of saying, okay, we're not going to kill you, but do one, basically. Get in your X-Wing and get the rock out of here.
See if he's in contact with the droid. Why did he not just send a hologram through the droid? Is he on a go
Exactly.
slow? Is he working to rule? What's the deal?
Well, hell, I mean, is there no way that Grief Karga... I mean, Grief Karga has such a brilliant first name for this show, but Grief is just all we get. But is there no way that he can just message Mando directly? Like, why does it have to go through this implausible rebel guy? And then he says, well, I'm just here to tell you that your friend's under attack. And I think the Mandalorians, one of their attempted excuses is that, well, we can't help. We don't have any ships or anything. So, well, how did you get here? Like, you didn't just teleport onto this planet. Did you get a bus?
Pass.
But I like how he was concerned about Apollo Creed's planet. Then he comes to meet Mando and he goes, right, it's your problem now. He leaves him. He leaves and goes, right, you go and save your friend. Bye. Do you know what I mean? He didn't even want to help. Ridiculous.
And didn't the big dude say, stay here, don't go anywhere? And then he just walked over to his ship and hopped in?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, but he went off talking to Mando, didn't he? So they look like they were buddies. But that's what I don't get. It's the whole thing is just so crazy. It's just so the writing is incredibly bad.
Yeah, what's happened to it?
Don't know.
When Robot said it's almost like they'd wrote it for 2 seasons and that was it. Is that what you think, Robot?
Well, I think they always planned on going further, but maybe they just thought that'd be the end of Grogu. Well, I don't know if Grogu was even meant to go on past the first season in their heads, but it was just like since the ending of season 2, none of that has mattered. Like none of that.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that Grogu came back in another show is just insane. And I just don't get it unless there's that much infighting at Lucasfilm, but everyone hates each other, and now they're just making it to get it out on that show, but get it out on Disney Plus. But it's really odd, really odd. It's one of those odd things odd shows I've ever watched for not understanding that you're looking at all these visuals and all the work that goes into it. It's like Lucasfilm must look like Jurassic Park, where everyone's operating Jurassic Park and then Newman's sitting at a desk that's all just covered in shit. And that's the writer's room, because it's like the writers are just not putting it anywhere near the effort as everyone else is. It's bizarre.
I think you're right, though. I think
Did anyone understand that Jurassic Park reference?
Yes, I did.
Yep.
Newman from
Seinfeld with his messy desk, and everyone else is professional. Yeah, it's just that's what I was trying to say.
But you may be right. It might be because they are fighting. Like KK and the people who are making Star Wars and stuff. They're all fighting against each other, and maybe that's the reason why it's so bad. Because it wasn't. Season 2 was bad, but it wasn't as bad as this. Do you know what I mean? I enjoyed season 2 and 1. Yeah, exactly.
I was waiting for it.
It's a strange one. It's almost as if there's no real place for Mando or Grogu in their own show. It's like their purpose is gone and their motives are just easy at best.
Yeah, did you guys get the impression that they're going to kill Mando off and let what's-her-face take over?
I called that
the
last
show?
week. Yeah, I said that last week.
No, even more so in this episode, Brown.
Yeah,
even more
it's happening.
so.
Yeah, it's happening.
So, I don't know.
She does have the more compelling story in this season.
I don't know how much about all the rumors and going all doomcock, but it's sort of, it's just that bad that you just sort of think, are they setting up Kathleen Kennedy to look like she's failing everywhere so they can get rid of her? Like, it's just, I just find this the most bizarre show to watch. There's no one to relate to. There's no story. Like you said, everyone seems out of place in their own show. It's just bizarre. And you think, how is this happening?
We said then 4D chess going on in the background.
You're probably right.
And we're seeing it.
No, the biggest argument against that is that 4D chess requires competence, and none of these people have the abilities to do it.
Trust you to say that, Ben.
The chat are amusing themselves with some alternative names for Mr. Miyagi. Princess Fiona's come up with a few, Brownie. Would you like any of those?
Chow old fat ex-wang pork fried rice kins.
She's on form tonight.
I think everybody was agreed that we would love to see your spin-off series ruin. Porkins.
Yes, I've got some great ideas for Porkins. Yes. Yes, he's going to go on a personal journey of transformation, and he's going to discover his true self, and that's actually he's been in the wrong body all along. And,
do you know what?
Got some great ideas.
The only good thing about this episode, seriously, is the bit where the big fat Mando with the big gun. It was like he was going to disagree. We shouldn't go there, but then he went, and then he went, he saved my son. And that was the only surprise in this whole episode.
Oh,
I like that the mechanics for speaking is basically an office team building party, right? You've got the hammer, so you get to speak, and then you throw it to someone else.
Yeah, the other weird thing with everything going on in the background, someone just mentioned it in the chat, is that Pedro's not in the outfit anymore, and there was all the fighting to be in the outfit for the first and second season and take the helmet off, and that's no one's caring about that anymore either.
No, and then she told her to take the helmet off at the end. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Can we just go back a couple of slides?
Yep.
Go back to the start, Brown, if you would, because then we can properly go through it. It's
Well, number one.
Yeah, we're not
Yes.
live yet, are we?
we're just warming up.
So back to where they're standing next to the ship. This one. Did anyone notice here that a different actress did the voice?
No.
Oh.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a different voice.
Oh,
Was it?
okay.
Yeah, it wasn't her. It was someone that they must have decided to change what she said and couldn't get her in that day. And I thought maybe she's gone altogether because the helmet's back on. Like maybe they're not paying her wages anymore and they've got someone else. But it was only that scene that it was a different voice.
That one shot there is just speaking where this is going.
Mm.
I think that the voice thing might unironically explain some of the dialogue problems in this show, is because they are all being dubbed in afterwards. You've not got an actor actually on the stage, on the soundstage, with the props, actually speaking lines that refer to what they're doing, which is why in this season, probably more than the others, you've got instances where characters will say things that just bear no resemblance at all to what's happening on the screen. And it's really quite shocking, but it's like they are working from two separate drafts of the script, and they haven't managed to reconcile them because nobody spotted it, because the lines weren't being spoken when they were filming.
Well,
And,
you know,
it's like they're getting no notes on how to say it either.
Yeah.
So both of them are just talking in this monotone voice the whole time. I mentioned in my last video when Bo-Katan's talking about her family, and it's like she's reading a shopping list. It's just there's no emotion there. It's like they're both getting their scripts, but no one's telling them, okay, you're in peril here, or this is hyped up situation. So everything's just said at this same tone. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's like the actors must treat it like a cartoon. They just supply their voices and that's it. But they would the actors on the ground would have a script to follow, but they have every chance of changing the dialogue when they're in their recording studio, I guess. So.
Rob Delaney in the chat is Z. Would you mind reading out Rob Delaney's chat message, please? He gets
Rob
to the
Delaney in the
custom
chat
thoughts.
says, "How many episodes of this shite are left?"
Anyone know?
I was going to ask that too.
I mean, we're on
3, I
chapter
think.
fucking 53. How many more are there?
Perhaps?
No, we don't.
3, 4.
Don't know.
I think there's
Episode
8
1.
in total, and
Yeah.
we're on episode 5.
Thank fuck for that.
But I'm reliably informed there's 12 more seasons left, folks, and they've got it all planned out.
Go.
There you go. Tim, I like saying this. Hannibon 8.
Oh, I'm not going to make it through 8. You better be joking.
Ben Duke.
MJ.
Same here, mate. Tell you.
Well, I also hope that's a joke, because I've got a 2.5 hour script which is just 4 episodes. If there's another, it's already too long, and it's still half the season left to review. Oh no!
You could.
Princess
I try and
Fiona.
restrict. Sorry.
No, it's okay, because I just saw a mention of hot lesbo action. It just distracted me. Sorry, go on, Robot.
Just on the scripts, you could literally go on and on and on about each episode for hours. Like it's just every scene there's so much to say. Like I try and restrict myself to just the big points, because you get the whinges in the comments about nitpicking, but it's just insane. Sorry. So yeah, I can see how you could be going easily for a few hours.
I love how in this scene nobody really does any talking. All the other Mandalorians are like, no. Oh, yes.
It's like a South Park scene. The thing that reminded me is any town meeting in South Park when all the crowd just go.
Yeah, but don't they talk through radio communicators, and it just sounds like normal, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I was laughing to this. That background sound was hilarious.
And then Paz Vizsla just goes, "This is the way." And they all go, "This is the way." And I'll be like, "Susan, what have we just committed ourselves to?"
Yeah.
This is the way.
I wasn't really paying attention in the meeting.
I was doing my Wordle, and where are we going now?
This is the way.
Brian, could you read out Princess Fiona's rather stark admission?
Princess Fiona in the chat says, "This is the way to my vagina."
There we go, folks.
But you know what? I get the feeling that when they had these meetings, one of them could be asleep. And then somebody could nudge him and go, "Okay, we've just committed to attacking a planet." What?
Oh, it's a Life of Brian type moment.
Yeah.
And say, what did he say? I think he said the planet's too far, And it turns out they actually said, we're invading Navarre.
Franco's got an alternative suggestion for the famous saying, that is the day.
That is the day.
I like it, Franco. Very good. So where are we with the conversation? Not ours, but theirs on screen. I mean, have they finally come to this? Has Big Guy stepped up and backed?
Yeah, he's just doing it now.
He's doing it
does
now. He's
He
got
said,
the hammer.
But Bo-Katan didn't give up on my child's life. Well, she kind of did. She found the nest and then left it, came all the way back to tell you, wasted a day doing that.
She got around to it eventually, didn't she?
Yeah, got around to it eventually.
But did you like he said the same thing twice? Like, she didn't give up my child. Mando didn't give up my child. It was like the same line, just slightly changed.
They seem to do this the whole way through this episode, if you go back through it. Just repeating the same bit of exposition time and time again. I hated this bit. The fake out was worthy of JJ.
But again, like what Brown said, if it is leading to Bo-Katan taking over and the Mandalorian getting killed and stuff like that, that would explain why she says, "Oh, it's okay for you to take your mask off," because there's no way that actress is going to commit to a show if you don't see her face. Do you know what I mean?
Nerdrotic said tonight on his stream, it's going to be the Bo-Katan show. That's season 4 Bo-Katan.
And they do have to set her up, don't they, for events that happen afterwards? Because she has a bigger arc in the animated shows and things. But the reasons given in this show equally apply to Mando. Like, she walks in both worlds because she's had her helmet off before. Okay, well, so has he. But you excommunicated him, and now you've turned her into the Messiah. I'm not entirely sure why, but
she's not the Messiah. She's a very naughty girl.
Yeah.
Naughty day, thank you.
Sorry.
Naughty day, Brown. Come on. It's 2023 now.
Stream killer.
The rules and the stakes in this show are just picked up and dropped at a minute's notice, depending on what the plot needs them to do. It's just a fucking joke.
Well, I still can't work out why Mando's not the boss, seeing he's got the dark saber.
Where is it?
Has he still got the dark saber?
Where is it?
Yeah.
Did Bo-Katan keep it?
He picked it up, but you wouldn't have told that, because that's a bit in the script of the video as well, is that she fights with it to save his life, and then he picks it up once he's revived and just puts it on his belt. And you'd think, like, at least show us some emotion from her, because that must mean a huge amount. She's touched the thing, she's touched this thing, she's touched the thing, she's wielded it, she's won a combat with it, but she's given it up again. Just a lingering look to make it seem like it means something to her. But no, it's just a trinket in this show so far.
And so why aren't they all following him? Because isn't that their big mantra, that whoever has it is the leader?
That seems to have fallen by the way, doesn't it?
Although they couldn't keep that consistent either, because she had all of the followers while she was trying to get the Darksaber, and all of her followers left her while she continued to not have the Darksaber. So nothing materially changed in her circumstance. It's just that the show didn't realize that, so they all fucked off for the same reasons they joined it to begin with.
Brown, we've had a request from Hannah Timbom.
Clank.
Is that the best you can do?
Probably.
Sorry, Hannah. That's
Well,
the best
do it
he
with
can
the
do.
helmets on, don't they? Clank.
He's
clank,
more
clank.
of a visuals guy than.
Moving swiftly on. Emily Swallow, by the way.
Just wondering why their helmets are hitting together so much. Is it only missionary for these guys?
Dear.
They're never playing around.
So we're back out. We're finally out of that goddamn dark cave, and we're back to this rather impressive ship. And we all
great.
agreed we kind of like this ship. What do you think, Roberthead, on this ship design? We all had some nice things to say about it.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot. I don't know if it's in the cartoons. I haven't watched those, but my nephew had a toy of it. He's had for a while.
Oh,
really?
I always thought it was a cool ship. And I never knew what it's from.
It reminds me of the
ship
Jedi
and
Star.
a little Bo-Katan.
It reminds me
But
of
I
the
didn't know
Jedi
who they
Starfighter.
were for ages.
Sorry, Robothead.
No, I think it's very cool. I don't know how the hell they got those huge chickens in there. But
I think that
Physics
one
don't
and Boba Fett's ship. I really like the designs of both of them. Yeah.
Is that Boba Fett's starship?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
don't
it's not
say the other name,
Starship.
please.
Oh, for God's sake!
No, we're not having it.
Problematic.
But they've virtually given up on designing ships, haven't they? Like anything that looks any good,
Yeah.
is from either the OT or the prequels, and that's about the only ship that's not in those films that looks good.
MJ's got a nickname for your favourite girl, Brownie.
Emily Spitswallows.
Oh, no.
It's Emily Swallow, everybody.
Swallow.
There we go. Coming out going in. Coming out, going in. I can't tell which one, but certainly doesn't look big enough to get 3 giant chickens in and out of. And then we're going. I think we're going to Navarro, aren't we? We're going to now. Where are they sat here? I couldn't quite work out the
What's that?
physics of this.
Yeah.
Are they inside the ship?
They're inside the big
TARDIS.
ship. Yeah, they're inside a big ship. Because if it could fit 3 chickens in there, I'm pretty sure it could fit that
3 Mandos.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So,
when they get chased by the TIE, they weren't TIE fighters. What were they? TIE
Interceptors.
Interceptors. He just walks from the front to the back to man the gun at the back. It doesn't seem very big.
Well,
it's one of these ever-changing ships.
No, but it's just like the distance between each planet, isn't it?
Yeah.
So if that doesn't matter, I'm sure it doesn't matter in the ship. Yeah, yeah.
But as I said last week, remember, if you're on your iPhone watching this at the same time, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it's a show designed for people who are not paying even 25% attention.
Gotcha.
So, as an experiment, maybe just watch it again on your iPhone, and it'll be the best thing you've ever seen.
While you're cooking and friends are over.
Yes.
Cooking meth, preferably.
You'll need it.
I remember
nice helmet shot.
Yeah.
And this is the big guy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Favreau must smell in that costume.
Is there a cheap, are you allowed to paint your own face onto your own helmet? Or is that against the rules?
That's a good one. I like that. I'm assuming that must be against
hang on. We've only been on an hour and a half, and I've finally got something good out.
How to go backwards in time, do they? Because when they arrive, it seems like it's the same spot when they were out in the desert, doesn't it?
George W., who is watching the live stream from Her Majesty's Belmarsh prison. Hello to George. Hope you get out soon, George. He says, does George Lucas watch all this shit? What do we think?
He doesn't, because he's actually said it, doesn't he? Said that. Somebody asked him, "Oh, have you gone back and watched the Star Wars?" And he says, "No, it's like breaking up with an old girlfriend and standing outside a house with a binoculars
and handing the children over to white slavers."
Yeah, it was during that white slavers when he got into that, didn't he? You don't contact the ex-girlfriend.
That's right. That's what he says. So you don't contact.
And why would you watch it?
Yeah.
It's like not just someone having sex with your ex-girlfriend and beating them up at the same time.
If I may, that's a screensaver there. Look at that. I'll take that.
I'm gonna disagree, Brian.
I don't like it.
What?
It's too busy. It's too busy.
I'll never find the rubbish can.
Yeah. Yeah. It just looks like a splodge. Nothing beautiful about that at all. That's beautiful.
There's your screensaver, Brownie. In fact, can you just use that splodge of blood that you had earlier on? Maybe that'd be a good screensaver. So anyway, we're going back to the massive. There's this Navarro we're looking at. It's massive. Yet there's only 49 inhabitants there. Now this was quite interesting because we're seeing the
red
post-apocalyptic scenes after the town's been destroyed, and this poor R2 unit, Z, it must have pulled at your heartstrings. He looked like he was malfunctioning. What was going on, Z?
He probably deserved it, sir.
Oh dear. Still holds a grudge after all these years.
I don't understand it. These pirates are really badass, but isn't he bringing them food?
Yeah, I thought that. And then
this was really.
The way he pushed him over the table and stood up, I thought he was about to rape him. It would improve the show so much.
I mean, also you would think that
here we go.
You'd think that they would want to find out where all the survivors have gone and kill them. They just sit in a broken down place, and I don't know what they're doing. They're just sitting around doing nothing. It's ridiculous, absolutely
They're just
ridiculous.
causing
Well,
havoc.
it's a future glimpse of the United Kingdom when all the Albanians have finally arrived. This is what they're going to do to it, folks.
Oh,
No, we'll edit that bit out.
demonetised.
It's all right, Brown. We'll edit it out. Don't worry. Yeah, so we get some. I don't know. Do we get some nice little scenes here? Particularly, this is the one where the guy in the rather cheap alien mask, as Bosk mask, tries shooting at these little Jabba's little lizard creature things. What are they called?
Demonetised.
Kamaki and monkey lizards.
Monkey
Oh,
lizards.
they
there you
bombed
go.
the whole city and those things didn't leave the tree.
That's it. Yeah.
They've been there the whole time.
Brave, aren't they? Very brave.
They actually pointed at something, didn't they, to help the Mandalorians, didn't they, at one point?
They did.
Do you remember that scene? Yeah.
You know, had they not played the flute
lizard
music
thing's
at this
tripping
point,
balls.
they could have completely gone past and not been noticed.
Yeah.
They all look up when the flute goes off.
I mean, like this.
Tim Hannibom.
That's it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Tim, you got your own music. Tim Hannibom and probably Mega Geek might have some insights on this. How did they do those monkeys? What do you think, Mega Geek?
It's a puppet, but also enhanced by CGI. That's what it is. So it's pretty easy to do these
Up
days.
the arse, Tim, is the short answer. They do them up the arse. There we go. And we're back to this. Now, this guy, he looks like someone I've seen
League of
on
Gentlemen
something else.
will have no trouble here.
No, it's the same. It's the same creature as in Return of the Jedi. I think
It's Willow.
Danny Trejo, is it not?
looks a bit like him.
No, it's who's the guy off? Is it season 1 of The Mandalorian or is it the book of Boba
Yognaut.
Fett? Is it?
Nick
Yeah,
Nolte's
is it him?
character.
Or someone like him. What was his saying? He had a saying, didn't he? What was it?
I have spoken.
That's it. I've spoken. It all just melds into one fucking
That is
nightmarish.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely
the Nick
Jabba
Nolte
the Hutt.
character, yeah.
Jabba the
I have
Hutt,
spoken.
definitely.
Well, I've got it. Let's get Robot to come back in and talk about this guy because we've obviously seen him before and we all had a lot to say about him. But what do you make of this this pirate leader, Robot Ed?
I like that they've gone for like a moist sort of mossy-looking creature that lives in space. There's no water or humidity. It's see, I feel bad because every time you come to me, all I'm going to say is, "Yeah, it's shit."
Well, that's all we do every week. We just rotate it and find new ways of saying it. So,
but there's like just zero. Like I'm stumbling over my own words. Zero imagination going on. Like they just saw Pirates of the Caribbean. Do things that looks like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like that's all they come out with. It's just
my favorite part was obviously they're playing on the heavily on the pirate thing. My favorite part was when he took over the steering of the ship and it was a big fucking stupid wheel. I mean,
I did laugh and
Yeah.
say it loud. He's got a fucking wheel.
Good
Here you go.
God.
Captain Isaac Long Blackhawk. Captain Crispy Seaweed.
It does
Ooh.
look like seaweed.
a
doesn't
bit
it?
of
Swamp
crispy
Kong.
seaweed.
Swamp Kang.
Now I haven't
Jim
watched
D.
the. Sorry.
Discount Davy Jones. Excellent.
Does anyone know when pirates were first mentioned in Star Wars?
Would have been a reference to
Han
Solo.
Yeah,
Lando
Han Solo.
Calrissian,
Lando Calrissian, Han Solo. Yeah.
your pirate.
Ah, yes. But I thought it was sort of, I don't know.
You thought it was new.
Term, not
The
they
wheel,
had
there you
literal
go.
pirates.
There's
Back
the
then,
wheel.
it was a familiar name for a familiar concept, but it was applied to something quite new and it fit the galaxy. Whereas this show literally has its pirate characters say "avast."
We just needed the parrot droid on his shoulder, didn't we? And it would have been complete.
Yeah, would have been good. Would have been good.
So it starts hotting up now because the Mandos have arrived, and or have they arrived at this point, or they're certainly
Yes.
on the way? Yep.
They're approaching.
Yeah.
And we're going to see a bit of action, at least for a.
So Mando's
Sure.
ship was meant to distract them so that they could land in the town, innit? The other Mandos could land in the town, and then the other ship was meant to attack them. I think.
Shouldn't they have all landed on that ship?
Wouldn't it be good if they did and destroyed it and concentrated on destroying that rather than I don't know. doesn't make any sense, does it? Really? Let's face it.
Go back to season 1, episode 1, and start rewriting the whole thing.
Yeah.
It is such a shame how something that looks so fantastic is dog shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're working on the visuals on this show, you'd have to show your family with the sound turned down.
Poor
Wouldn't you? Like,
bastards.
because they'd be rolling their eyes, and like you've spent hours and hours making this shot that looks incredible, and it's just like they're listening to the dialogue ruin it all.
Imagine spending the entire fucking day taking the screenshots for this thing. I mean, Jesus. Smilex says, what is a pirate's favourite letter of the alphabet? First one on the panel to get it right.
R.
Whoever that was, I will send you a signed copy of The Last Jedi on Blu-ray. It's winging its way to you.
And for
Someone
everyone
in
that
chat,
didn't get
though,
it, you're
someone in
getting
chat
2 copies.
disagreed and said that the pirate's first love will always be the sea.
Oh,
I think Robot Head wants copy, Ruin.
Oh, he's had many copies. He keeps sending them back, but I'll keep returning them. Robot Head, you're going to damn well watch it again. But look, we get into a bit of a battle here, don't we? And
oh, look at that!
Yeah, it's. I mean, another question for the gang. Why the fuck does he bring Baby Yoda with him to a space battle?
Because
Why
they
does he
have
take
to
it anyway?
show. They have to show up the toy so they can sell more.
Merchandising.
The most commonly recurring question about this show, besides why, is why has he brought Grogu along to any given scene?
Yeah.
Going down to the lakes was a classic. Sorry again, I'm a few episodes behind because I was just redoing that one. But just taking him down to where there's Morlocks and monsters and that for absolutely no reason. He could have left him, back with the mechanic, but now he's got to go everywhere.
But
After he almost
in
kills
season
him,
1 and 2,
because he
didn't it?
opens the cockpit. Remember, like the whole point of that is that they have to test to see if the atmosphere is toxic.
Yeah.
So, and it's again a really good example of the dialogue not matching the scene. So he tells Grogu to go into his pod and seal himself there, even though they removed the pod in the previous scene to fit R5 into it. Then he opens the cockpit before he knows that the droid has got the atmospheric tests. When he comes back, he tells Yoda not to open the cockpit until he's got the tests. None of it actually follows at all. It's an astoundingly badly written episode. Very funny though.
But he was always careless with the Yoda baby, wasn't he? Season 1 and season 2, he was very careless of him, leaving him here, there, and everywhere. So it's just it doesn't make any sense.
Like season 1. Well, we need to have a good episode, so let's lock him in a cupboard and go raid a spaceship. That will make the episode better.
This looks like
yeeted him across the room in episode 1.
Yes, yeah.
This looks like one of the aliens from The Last Starfighter. Do you remember?
Yes,
Yeah, I
it
remember
does,
that.
Yes. There's one for the kids.
Hard to believe this is the same show that held Bill Burr in that episode where he
That was a
Wow.
good
Yeah.
episode.
had a
Yeah.
breakdown.
Good episode.
Yeah,
This
it
is the
does
same
seem
show.
a million miles away, doesn't it? Yeah.
Bill Burr was good in that scene.
Mm.
It's very good.
So
They hired him because he hates Star Wars, but it turned out that he could act, so they were very confused when he got to set.
Grief Cargo on the visual viewer, whatever we're calling it. Yoda in the cockpit, hopefully not on the cock. And yes, Grief. I think Grief at this point realizes he realizes he's got some he's got some backup. He's got some support now. What do we make of this battle in general then? Any positives to draw from it? Any nice shots or
all of it's nice.
Yeah,
Sorry,
all of it
go
looks
ahead.
great.
Right. Yeah, I mean, all of it looks good, and I got to admit, I enjoyed the battle, but because of the visual effects, it looks so nice. But
The thing too is they always get the lighting really nice in this show.
They
Then you look
do.
at the Obi-Wan show, and the lighting was dog shit through the whole thing, and it's the same company. It's just so odd.
Who was directing that one? Was it one director? The director?
Deborah
Yeah, I think
Chow.
it was.
There you go.
pin this
explains
one
it.
on me?
But then you can compare it to the Book of Boba Fett as well, where they didn't even finish half of the sets and actually
Yeah.
left the unfinished bits on camera. Like you say, it's weird that this is all from the same company.
So the battle rages on.
here we go.
The Mandos are. There's your girl Brownie. But we're shortly about to see the battle hit the hit the streets of Navarro, aren't we? And I have to say, I do like the way the Mandos kind of skydive in. It is pretty cool. And then
Except
the battle
they
rages.
then forget that they're wearing jetpacks. And this is another consistent thing with this show, is that the Mando in particular, but all of the Mandalorians generally, will never use the right weapon in the right circumstance and will forget the tools they actually have.
Yeah.
So there's an actual bit in here where they front up some people and then some others come up behind them and they say, "We're boxed in." Like, you can fly. You're not. just fly away.
It was exact same. I was waiting for that bit to come up. It was like... Everyone on set, why are you saying they boxed in? Who wrote this? Like, they're all wearing jetpacks. They should never be boxed in. Fucking insane.
Princess Fiona, I can't, for legal reasons, read out your message, but we all recognise the sentiments behind it. So, yes.
Boom.
Explosions.
Princess Fiona's
What do we make
excited,
of Captain Pizza Face's tactics? He seemed rather insistent on taking the ship down, so to speak, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's
Very
stupid, isn't he?
tactical.
He's stupid.
Oh.
That's why he lost. And this guy escaped, didn't he? Guy with no nose escaped. But
Oh, yes, he
that's what I'm
did.
saying. So he's going to come back in another episode, isn't he? But it's
Who
just
knows?
the whole thing's just stupid.
Who cares?
Time Prophet with the Last Jedi reference. I do appreciate it, Time Prophet. Thank you, sir. But yeah, I think the battle on ground is maybe more interesting than the space battle. It's
The tactics on the ground one hold together a little bit better, absent the jetpack point. I mean, this sky battle thing makes no sense. I mean, doesn't the big ship have any sensors that could have picked up Bo-Katan's ship coming? B, what the hell? Huh?
You were saying something, then suddenly you stopped.
I was continuing to say something. I didn't stop.
Sorry, you just completely stopped. I was like, what?
Oh, my internet's probably killed itself. But no,
right.
so does the big ship not have any sensors which can detect her ship coming? That's point A. Point
The
B is
planet
they're all...
doesn't have sensors.
The planet doesn't have
pirates turned
sensors
up and
either.
The planet didn't know.
But then point B, they're all chasing the N1 starfighter, and then they're told there's another ship behind. So knowing that the N1 starfighter is still there, they all turn around and just fly away from it. What do they expect it not to come up behind them and shoot them up the wrong end? I mean, what were they expecting to happen there?
Well, if we can bring ruin in here, the Last Jedi, it reminds me of when Rey turned up in the
here we
Millennium
go.
Falcon,
Here we go.
and they all chased the one ship.
They really hate that ship.
well, you're all still talking about it 5 years on. What can I say? I made an impression.
Wrong one.
What an impression.
So, nice overhead shot here. The Mandos, they hit the deck and they basically fuck shit up, don't they? They start blasting away. Am I right in saying no Mandos
Stormtroopers.
died in this epic battle?
One got damaged.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did anyone
Those-
else think in this shot, where's the rest of the robot? Like, I thought he was going to come out and they'd rebuilt him because the legs are missing. Because earlier in the episode, the legs are still there.
Yeah.
And then they go to this shot and the legs are gone, the lower half of the body. So I thought, why this is all going on? He's going to walk out of a building somewhere. They've rebuilt him while Mando's been away.
Yeah.
And he saves the day, but didn't lead to anything. He's just
You know
missing
that
for some
because that's
reason.
the fundamental difference between you and the incredibly well-paid writers of this show is that you pay attention to what they're doing and they don't.
Yes.
Yes, let's not get bogged down in continuity. We don't need any of that. Is this little dude pointing
He
out?
is,
He's warning them.
Yeah.
He's warning
Yeah.
them.
They're over there.
Come over there.
Might be my favourite moment in the whole goddamn series.
See, again, he's gone. They made a big deal of the lower half being there earlier.
Yeah.
IG88, we do miss you. Some nice work on the screenshots, Brownie. You captured some of those lasers
bastard.
beautifully.
Yeah.
Yes.
What takes the time, you see.
Franco sums it up. He says the writers don't give a fuck.
They don't.
They really don't.
I think
Basically,
that's
could
it.
have saved us 2 hours there, Franco.
I could
Cheers,
still be
Franco.
asleep.
Best Tess DeVore.
Yeah.
Bestest
ever.
ever.
Bestest ever. Oh, God. You're making me work hard. Are all the Mandos wearing Beskar? I think that's
Yeah.
that's
Yes,
the thing,
they're
isn't it?
Immune
Yeah.
to blaster fire.
Thankfully, they only ever get shot on the small panels of Beskar, not anywhere else. So it's rather fortunate.
There you
It's
go.
always great
right
to have
on
an
the
episode with
Oscar.
stakes, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
there you go.
any of these people can die at any given moment. Oh no, they can't.
That's one hell of a spark, isn't it? Boom.
Sparks are flying.
This is when they're pinned down with their jetpacks
Oh,
Yeah.
by 6 pirates. Aren't they meant to be the best fighters in
They're
the
not.
universe?
They're rubbish. They really are rubbish.
The pirates are giving them a hard time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're absolute nonsense.
Now, this was one which I was particularly disappointed with when the big guy got his gun out, so to speak. I thought we talk about the visuals, but I thought the sound effects were pretty poor. It was very underwhelming. Yes, it was a very sort of low patter, wasn't it? Could we not have got something a bit more, some guts in it? Yeah.
No, it's got to look like its Nerf counterpart.
Yeah, is that what it is? They're no Ben Burt, are they? Is that the guy, Brian? Brian will know.
Burt, yeah.
Ben Burt, is it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It revolutionised.
Oh, Brian's on the shitter. Sorry, Brian. Hope you're still enjoying the show. Plenty of prune juice, Brian. It will sort you right out. So the battle rages on, and just because we need to show that they've got more weapons than blasters, we get some rope work in there. And do we have any flamethrowers?
They love that rope work shot, don't they?
Oh, they do love a rope shot.
There are no flamethrower shots that I can recall. However, they do use a rocket launcher at one point, but not against the thing they should use it against, which is the gun on screen right now. They forget they have the rockets when this thing's shooting at them, and then they remember they have it when they really don't need to use it.
Bang, right in the
chest. But then Emily
plate.
Swallow saves them anyway, so...
She comes in with hammer and tongs to take them all
out.
She did. Not a gun, a hammer and fucking tongs. Is the forging hammer, the speaking hammer, and the twatting hammer the same thing?
How did she get down to the planet?
She jetted down after
jumped without her,
but she hasn't got a jetpack.
Okay. Maybe it's under the fur coat. She has one,
but when she walked out, I thought, how did she get there? Like, we haven't seen her the whole time. She hasn't got a jetpack. She hasn't got a ship. But she just walks out. Like, I mean, that's this show. I'm not that surprised.
Let's not get bogged down in jetpacks.
Oh, there we go. So we are getting to the scene where Brownie's girlfriend... it's a great shot. Brownie's girlfriend gives a little bit of action, doesn't she, as we've just been talking about. My problem with that scene was how one by one she came up behind them wielding her hammer, and none of them seemed to hear or notice her as she was taking each of the enemies out one by one. It was
too busy having fun blowing everybody up.
Oh, maybe.
To notice.
Franco, fur coat, no knickers, but a jetpack.
It looks like a painting. This picture is still here, doesn't it?
Last Starfighter.
He's got his chain on.
1-6 cave, making the points I just made there. They don't seem to notice the armor beating the shit out of everyone. It does take some liberties, doesn't it, to say the least?
There's not one thought that goes past the basic layout of the show. She walks in, she takes them out, and then they film it. Like, there's not somewhere in a corridor, or she's hidden behind a wall, or there's a reason why they can't hear it. Like, there's no extra thought put into this show whatsoever. It's just going from here to here to here, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like the guy who's found the gun, make the gun incredibly loud, and then it would explain why they don't hear it. But no, we just make pretty things and explosions and lasers.
That'd be good.
So where are we up to with this Brownie? Oh, it's the Pirate King. He's going to...
the ship's going to go down in a minute.
He's nearing the end, isn't he? He does go down with a ship, though.
Here we go.
Oh, here she is. She's still your favourite, Brownie?
Emily Swallow.
You just want to see her with the helmet off, don't you, Brown?
I still think there's going to be some... there's going to be a les off, isn't there?
Yeah, someone was suggesting that earlier. How shit is that Bosk mask? I mean, honestly, you can buy better off eBay. What the hell?
Just give a slight eyelid, like just something that just doesn't have the eyes bunging out of his head, like he's been pilling for days.
Oh, there he is. He's just about to get a hammer in the head. Brownie, would you let the armourer beat the shit out of you?
Not at first, but yeah.
You'd need to get to know her first.
Maybe not.
There's Favreau with his shitty gun. Who'd win between Favreau dressed as a Mando and the Asian guy from Rogue One with the big gun?
Oh, the Asian guy for sure.
Yeah.
He can act.
He could probably write a better Star Wars episode as well.
I love the way Brownie says, "Oh, look at that," to his own slides.
No, because I recognise. Well, yeah. Listen, if you're on your iPhone, what's the first thing you're going to do when you see something like that? You're going to go, "Look at that!"
Pornhub.
I think they've won, haven't they? They've overtaken the village.
It's done. Yes, it has a strange sense of a season finale episode where you have everyone celebrating, but unfortunately for us, it's nowhere near this is the end of the season.
I was going to say we would have been celebrating for once.
She's surfing. Get back there, Brown. God damn it! She's actually. Who is this? Is this Bo-Katan?
Don't know.
Who's doing this?
This confused me, this thing, because it just sort of happened, but we didn't get any sense of why it was happening.
Yeah, surfing the downing ship. It's rather impressive. We don't know who. We don't know why.
Stuff in the downing ship, Kathleen Kennedy.
And there it goes, explodes, and I think she jumps off with the rocket pack, and this is where the captain says, "Give me the wheel. I'm taking this bitch down."
And he goes, "Oh, bye," isn't he?
He goes, he does.
He's gone. A runner. Same. Yeah, he's booked off.
He's clever enough to run off. This guy's stupid.
Yeah, he is a bit of I hate to call back to my own perfect work, but a bit of a Snoke moment, isn't it? He's barely introduced and now he's gone. Dead, gone, done with.
It would have been good if he was made of cannabis and when the ship exploded, they all just started giggling. Post credits.
That would be awesome.
Nice shot of the gun turret Brown.
It was very kind of him as well to steer the ship away from the populated area in time for it to explode, as opposed to, final death act, I'm going to land this on you guys.
Yes, I'm going to... Well, he'd have had trouble hitting any people because there's only about 13 of them on the whole planet, but he could have done some damage. There she is. Nice mask. Mando.
There's some really nice effects in this, because this scene here, that goes right through the explosion, doesn't it? It flies right into the explosion and comes right out in this shot here. It's really
nice. They do
nice.
that shot like every series, every show now.
They do, yeah.
Like, it's always flying through the explosion as they do it, like, because that would be safe.
It's like
I like the shot. It looks cool.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't seem the safest maneuver.
I think they looked at the last Top Gun film and they copied all the shots, didn't they?
What did they copy?
They looked at the last Top Gun film because it was all shot for real, wasn't it? The flying. And they just copied some of the shots from Top Gun.
Oh, every chase is through a canyon too.
Yeah.
There's no chasing unless there's a canyon.
Yeah.
Ruin, do you think we can do 100 slides in 2 minutes?
Oh, good God. You've got 100 slides left. We're near the end of the goddamn episode. What are you
we're finishing.
Brownie, we don't need to go through your porn collection on this stream. I've told you.
Just looks
Save
so
that.
fantastic.
Don't speak too soon.
Save that to Sunday. Yes, we can. You can keep it rolling because we have the celebration. We have the
2 hours
people.
15.
Yes, we're saved.
Did you?
Abu Frick, yes.
Did you notice the sound of the ship?
Shirtless.
What was that?
You notice the sound of the ship going down was the same as Return of the Jedi when the
Really?
Super Star Destroyer gets taken out.
Yes,
Oh,
of course.
Top trivia.
That's why we have him. Grief Karga, he's looking pleased for himself and his rather weird protocol droid. John Favreau.
Go going to shoot those little creatures.
He does he? Probably was.
That girl looks really
Boss.
happy
Slide
behind,
before was
behind
the
him, doesn't
little
she?
nude
That
creatures.
girl, she's
On-
grinning from ear
On the
to ear.
left.
Yeah.
Yes. Where's Big Tits gone?
I don't know.
Oh, I've been sat here all episode waiting for Big Tits.
Someone literally took their pitchfork. They're going after Frankenstein.
They took the pitchfork to a laser battle. Yes.
It's always a bad
Favreau's
move.
desperate to have an action figure, isn't he? Fucking pathetic.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
There's more people there at the end.
Yes, they've. It works different in Spacey, and they've already,
Multiply.
Right.
got
Yeah.
it on.
Where they all come from?
Smilex.
And this is the bit where Grief Karga is saying that, you lived in the sewers while you were here, but now, because you lost your home, this can be your home, even though they all know already that Mandalore's atmosphere isn't poisonous, and they've wanted to go back there forever, and they should already be back there, but they are not going back there yet because the rest of the script needs to happen first.
Plus,
Exactly.
they talked about him hiding in the sewers, but he used to talk to Mando like every day in the bar. So how hidden were they in the sewers?
Oh,
Like,
that's
why was
just reminded
Mando
me.
allowed to walk around in town?
Perhaps that was the name of the bar, Sewers.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
I think I've
It's
seen
reminded me
that.
as well. There's a line
Thinking
earlier
of
when
joke.
Mando's making the case to them to go and save Nevaeh. What was the line? Something about why did this give our children a chance to know what it feels like to play out in the sun, as though the previous episode didn't show them doing exactly that.
On the beach.
With the helmets
Shooting
on.
at water. I hate
Someone
that
in the
hit.
chat mentioned it there. They're all cheering and celebrating while the city's been absolutely fucking destroyed. So
Why is that droid's head different? Anybody know? For what?
They're interchangeable.
They thought they could sell another toy. I was sadly mistaken.
Oh, that's very cynical, robot head.
cynical but accurate.
That's my
Moving
job.
on.
Grief Karga's lost his cloak. Have we noticed? When did that happen? Another continuity thing, or has he just cast it away?
And does he
Here you
care
go,
about the
folks.
little cloak droids that carry the bottom of the
Oh.
cloak?
Possibly.
Because that was cool.
Cloak droids' lives matter. God damn.
Here you go. Channel favourites. Velma Dinklage in the chat. It had to be 25% difference. There you go.
Good point.
Why 25%?
Isn't that a copyright issue? They say, if you change a certain percentage, I think they had that sort of problem with Star Trek for some reason.
Yeah.
And you don't have to give the original creator royalties
Hmm.
because it's been transformed.
But I'm guessing they own all the royalties with that $4 billion check they gave George.
Oh God, you hope so. Franco rather hilariously says, "When is this set?" Anybody?
Pass.
I think I knew last week, and now I'm completely confused.
Well, it was 2 years after the Luke
Return of the Jedi,
Skywalker.
yeah.
It's about
was after-
7 years after Return of the Jedi.
It was after Return of the Jedi, but not. But how many? How many years for Force
Two after
Awakens?
don't know.
No, we don't.
Pass.
We don't care.
We don't know. We don't care. Just
I
like
think
the
Sid said it was
writers.
7 years after Return of the Jedi, which is a fairly good.
But even the creators don't care, because in that interview he says somewhere between 0 and 2 years between season 2 and 3. And that's sort of, wouldn't that be the first conversation you have? Like when are we setting season 3? But his answer was somewhere between 0 and 2 years.
It's like quite a lot can happen in 2 years' time. It does
They
make a
built
difference.
that whole town. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's happening here? The armorers, I mean, they're determined not to wrap this goddamn fucking episode up, but the armorers discovered what? Another armory or something? Or...
It's the one from season 1. It's the one they used to use.
Right, okay.
And this is her occasion. Because, again, the way this show just structures itself is just bizarre. So they're having another conversation about the mythosaur. And because the last time they had this, Bo-Katan says, I saw it. And she says, yeah, okay, fine. And then in this one, without any interaction between them really until that point, she suddenly decides, no, this means that it's the second coming of Mandalore and you're allowed to take off your helmet and be Jesus. I was like, well, why didn't you make that association the first time? Well,
She's got
what's
red
happened
hair
in the
as well.
intervening time?
She's got red
She
hair,
has.
but no freckles.
Hold on. So is she saying the impression I got was that there are Mandalorians out there that do not obey by the rules, and they take their masks off and they do whatever.
Yes.
So what she's saying is that because you saw that monster, you're it's foretold that if you see the monster, you can
What both?
cure you can cure the Mandalorian. You can bring both together, people that don't wear their mask and
Yeah.
the people that wear the mask, back to the fold. Is that what she's saying?
Sounds suspiciously like absolute bollocks, doesn't it?
Sounds like she's making it up as she goes along.
She does, doesn't she? She was totally against it, wasn't she, at one point?
Lord,
I
are you
hope
a-
she was testing her. It's like she took it off. She went, a real Mandalore wouldn't have done that. You're out again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Lord, are you available to read a super chat from
Through my
your
fast
favourite?
on rushing cold. Yes, I can. Princess Fiona for $2. Now they are boxed in. True.
That's what I'm saying.
Innuendo.
I think it's leading to her having her own series, but also it's leading to the point where
Oh, yes,
they have
definitely.
to take their masks off now because it's ridiculous for the actors. That's what I reckon. That's the reason why this story's being introduced.
Or will they do the ultimate bait and switch and say, well, the show is called The Mandalorian, but it doesn't
Exactly.
say which one.
Yes.
It could be any of them.
Very good.
It's like
Very
Loki. It's like Loki as well. Do you remember? Oh, but it says Loki, but it isn't. It isn't. Yeah, it's ridiculous, wasn't it?
But
Rob
it's such little
Delaney.
faith in the audience. Like we've got to slowly go from Mando to Bo-Katan. Like we can't just stop at season 2 and start a new show with her, which
Yeah.
everyone would have watched
Wow.
anyway. We've got to go through all this.
So,
fucking
were you
nightmare.
saying this season is transitioning?
Yes, you could say that.
Careful,
Good
careful,
for
Brown.
today's
You're on
season.
dodgy ground. Rob Delaney in the chat says, "Why does a dinosaur matter all of a sudden?" Because of course they have this conversation about is it the mythosaur?
Yeah.
Yeah, which just again seems.
But it
Dinosaurs.
can go back. The Mythosaur, I think, in the expanded universe goes back to some comic run in the 80s. I think it's quite an old, long-established part of The Mandalorian. But the problem is that it's not established in the Disney era canon. It's not been established on the screen, and they retconned all of the stuff that did establish it. So they're now bringing it back in as though it has all of the significance as it did have back when the Mandalorians were depicted very differently in an entirely different canon. They haven't
It was
actually
first in the holiday
recreated that.
special, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yes. Where
Mythosaur,
Boba Fett was
okay.
introduced in the holiday
Yeah,
special
you are
in
right,
a
yeah.
cartoon, and he was riding one.
Ah,
There's
apparently-
a true Star Wars fan there, folks.
Holiday special reference. Take a
Wow.
big drink, everyone.
And then in season 1, the little dude, their first episode said, your people used to ride them or something. I think there was something referenced then. They sort of
That
made
was
out that
it.
they all rode them. So did that mean they could all take their helmets off?
Who cares?
That was my mistake.
Who would like to ride Bo-Katan?
Oh, Brown.
I don't
Sorry.
think she's attractive at all. I don't know about you guys. I don't find her attractive at all for some reason. I mean, no disrespect to her. Or anything.
I mean,
Do you
she's no
remember when they
Holdo, is
showed
she?
that Lucasfilm story group thing, and on the whiteboard they had dinosaurs written?
God.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. That's a
So you've got the
favourite of mine.
mythosaur and 3 little baby dragons that they're all going to be riding. This
Pete's
is going to
dragon.
be like Dinosaur Power Rangers Club. It's going to be terrible.
This
But
is the
think of
way.
the action figures.
Speaking of
MJ
fine.
in the chat, a little tip for everyone. He says, "Go watch the third Riddick film to see a great rack."
Oh, she's
This
got a
is
great
the-
rack. Apparently.
This is the kind of
End stream.
cerebral comments we get in the
Bring up
chat.
Pirate
Does
Bay as
anybody
well.
know if the toys do sell from this show? I mean, they
No,
do
they're all
have
going in
toys out
landfill,
there.
aren't they? All those Funko Pops.
No, but I'm talking, like the figures, the action figures. Do they sell well from the Mandalorian? Anybody know?
I think it's just died. Like, I think Baby
Oh.
Yoda, well, the idiots didn't have it ready for Christmas when it first came out.
I know.
And then I think that was popular. And Mando, like his helmets and things were popular as far as I know. But I think all that hype's just died.
I just think that the people that actually collected action figures in the past, they're all out. Well, I can only speak for myself, my age now, and the kids of today, they don't buy action figures. They're on their phones all
No,
the
they
time,
steal
and
them.
playing computer games. Yeah, that's
They
So
go
it's-
down
it's
Walmart
not-
and steal them.
yeah, that too. But it's not. It's like you're wasting your time trying to get the toys out because, for one, kids are not interested in. I mean, my nieces haven't even watched Star Wars. They're not interested in Star Wars at all. They're more interested in K-pop and stuff like that, and their phones and computers. So I don't know what audience they're aiming this at, because it really doesn't exist. Well, that's just my mistake.
The figures are quite expensive. Well, I think they're probably expensive anyway, but I've noticed the new figures will be like $8, and then the Black Series, or not the Black Series, but the Classic Series will be like $25 right next to them. So obviously know which ones are selling.
Yeah.
We might have my single favourite comment of the entire night, and it's someone who sat through 2 hours plus of this stream, and he's finally come up with this gem. I'm going to just drop it on screen so you can all see.
Welcome, the listening fat.
Welcome, the listening fat.
You're very welcome.
Very welcome.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
thank you.
Brilliant.
There's a bit of a Game of Thrones thing going on here with Bo-Katan. She was Daenerys Targaryen the other week, and now she's going to be Mance Rayder, kind of reuniting the factions and stuff. So,
do you think if this show was really good and the stories were really good and we were investing in the characters, do you reckon that the merchandise would sell then? Or do you reckon merchandise is dead now? You know, kids are not interested.
No, it'd sell. I think it'd sell. You want to buy the spaceship.
I do. I do.
So there you go.
Me, yeah.
I think it's a bit
There's
of both.
one sale.
Yeah, exactly. To the kids, as he says, right? No, I'm not yet, mate. I can if you want me to.
The Bo-Katan Armorer Deluxe Action playset. I'd love to buy that. If you know what I mean.
You'd want the duvet cover as well, wouldn't you, Brown? We know what you'd do with it.
Swallowing action.
So this is we transition away finally from the fun we've had on Navarro, and I think we're going into space.
This is the stupidest scene
we're
in
at the
the
end now,
world.
folks.
It is, isn't it?
We're nearly at the end. Hang in there, chat. We're nearly at the end.
We're nearly there.
I completely
folks.
forgot what happened here. I was like, what's happening now? But now I do remember.
Also,
they do the alien scene.
Do you remember in Empire Strikes Back when R2 fell into the water and that thing came up? It didn't detach itself and start flying around, did it? Unlike in this one.
There've been some upgrades since then.
I don't understand how he came across this shuttle.
Well, the first time I saw this, I had the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in the back of
Yes,
my head.
I've got it written right here.
Is big, really big. You just won't believe how vastly, mind-bogglingly big space is. Listen.
Yeah.
And the chances of an X-Wing bumping into an abandoned shuttle that used to contain a prisoner the pilot knew about are so astronomically against the odds. It made me so angry. I completely forgot about the detaching probe on the R2 unit, which would have gone down really well a couple of episodes ago.
And then also he sees a shard of metal in amongst a load of shards of metal and immediately says, that's a Beskar fragment. The Mandalorians took him. Like, how the hell did you work that out from that wreckage?
No, I think
why is it such a mystery?
I think the thing that was scanning it registered that it was part of that metal. I think.
Why doesn't R5 have one of those bloody things when he needed it?
Yeah, exactly.
Robots.
Why is it such a mystery that he's got away? Like no one, we had a feeling he didn't make it to court. Like he would have been a pretty, like big prisoner. Like, but no one sort of knows if he's gone missing or not. It's just
it's like the Israelis transporting Eichmann back for trial, and then did he arrive? I don't know. Maybe.
Was he meant to be here today?
Is it worth finding out?
Yeah.
I think it's like logic has completely disappeared from this show, isn't it? Let's face it.
Robot Head, you're really well educated, aren't you?
Me? No. Well, my robotic parts might be, but not the human parts.
What, for an Australian, Brown? Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yeah, here I'm a genius, but if I leave the country, I'm a complete moron.
If I may, Lee Everett for $20. Thank you, my friend. Very generous. Here we go. Mr. Poop Alliance. That's me.
That's the best $20 anyone's ever spent
Thank you, sir. I
this
appreciate
year.
that.
I'm certain
Thank you,
of
my
it.
friend. Thank you.
So you did like this scene then, Z, and indeed everyone else?
No. Well, the reason why he escaped was
here we go.
He needed to go back to what is it? Not Better Call Saul, the other one, because he was starring in that, wasn't he? So he couldn't star in the Star Wars thing. So there you go.
It is an amazing coincidence
That thing reminds me of Aliens when it was scanning. Do you remember Aliens in the beginning?
That's been floating in space, 2 years at least?
Oh, that's true. I forgot about the time jump too.
Yeah.
It's a couple of years it's been out there.
Amazing, isn't it?
So does that mean he's been missing for 2 years and they're still not sure what happened if he made it?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I don't even
Exactly
think
what
of
it means.
Yeah, that was such an alien shot, that last one.
It was.
Oh, it's fantastic.
There you go.
Look at that.
That reminds me of Aliens in the beginning.
Oh.
Yes, they're enjoying the member berries in the chat there.
Member.
Different type of member berry, but
I think we're approaching the end, folks. So
Thank God.
I will say, chat.
Daniel-san.
Chat, if you've watched the episode, marks out of 10, please, and we'll flash the marks up on the screen.
It does look like Karate Kid's mentor there, doesn't he?
Season 6. Showing
Look at that. It does.
Zero passion.
yeah. It's the chin strap, I think.
Yeah, I think
wax
so.
on, wax off.
Daniel-san.
Time Prophet. Back it in.
We're getting some scores coming in, Brownie.
Yep.
I know you like to rattle through them.
Shall we just get up to the? That's the best car.
Yeah,
thing,
you've
isn't
got
it?
you've got 54 more slides, haven't you? So yeah, keep going.
So it's a Mandalorian who got him out, isn't it?
No, it's just Beskar.
It could have been Boba Fett that got him out. You never know.
And
He
now
knows
we're
what,
into
like, all the Mandalorians are. Couldn't he just ring them up and ask them?
yeah. Excuse me, but
It turns out one of them happens to have a droid that he saw once 50 years ago, and he just pings that and says, "Does your mate, by any chance, have some Beskar lying around?" Yes. Aha.
Ruin, do you want to see us home? I'll do the marks, do the slides. You see us home, my friend.
Okay, I will. I'll take it to the bridge. So yes, the visuals you're witnessing on screen are the end credits, which, as we always say, the artwork on the end credits is probably the best part of the whole goddamn show, and we'd recommend just skipping straight to them. But this is the point as Brown rattles through those visuals and shares your scores. This is the part where I like to go around the panel for one final time, get their closing thoughts on the episode, and of course the score out of 10. And just to recap, we have had particularly low scores for Mando this season. They seem to have got lower each time. So where do we stand? Let's go to Darth Lord Sith Chord. I got your name the wrong way around. But look, we've not spoken in so long, Dark Lord. It's great to catch up again. Please give me your give me your synopsis of this debacle and your score, please, sir.
So I don't think this was as bad as last week's. And it wasn't as funny as last week's. It was more boring than last week's, but I think it did make marginally more sense. I'm saving the 1 score because I'm sure this show can still plunder new depths. So I'll give this one, I think I gave last week's 2, so this one will have to be 3. Although, this one has made me ill, so maybe it is worse than I give it credit for.
Okay, next up we're going to Edinburgh's finest. This Brian. What do you make of this one, Brian?
Edinburgh, fuck off.
that really got him, folks.
Again, I struggled to get through this episode. I would say it was better than last week. It did kind of try, however badly, to tie some of the threads together. But again, the stakes and the rules just changed constantly, and the story just meanders around like me after 12 pints down the locals. I think I'll give it a very generous 5.
Oh, he's going for a 5. Wow. Oh. Not often we get that high up in the nosebleeds. Okay, Brian. Z, what say you, sir?
Well, this episode was like the pastel background colours from a Mr. Brown title card. Astonishingly unimpressive.
Cheers,
I'm gonna give it a 4, but only for the Z cameo.
Okay, fair. We're scoring slightly better than last week so far then, but no one's breaking the halfway point. Mega Geek, I know you've got some strong feelings on this one. What do you say?
It was bollocks. I'll give it a 2 for the effects. That's it.
Oh,
Seriously.
look at that. Look at
Absolute
that.
rubbish.
It's all the only positives we seem to take from the show, isn't it? The effects.
The effects.
Brownie is enjoying the stills like an excited child in the background. But I want to go
it's
to you, Brown,
fantastic.
because I'm saving our special guest to for the final word. So, Brownie, what are your scores, please, sir? You can't give it one.
I'm still gonna give this 5 out of 10
Okay.
purely for the boys and girls who put the show together, the visual effects, the editing, blah blah blah. Everybody but the person who writes it and directs it.
Yeah, I'm sure they
So-
care about you too, Brian.
I just think
Why would you? Why would you say that? That's their job. They get paid for it. Do you know what I mean? Who
well,
gives
then
a shit?
they're very fucking good at it. Then, so it
Yeah, you never
deserves
know.
a
There might
decent
be
mark.
one sitting there in the basement. They've been crying all the way through, but now they're crying tears of joy because they've finally been seen by someone. So, yeah,
Or
someone
sacked.
someone
Or
gives us the
sacked by
credit we
Disney,
deserve.
yeah.
Or sacked, yeah.
Moving on.
Okay, well, just very briefly, I'm going to give this one a 4. I do think it was a slight improvement. There was some things I enjoyed, but overall, as everyone said, the writing shite. It makes no sense, and it's a real shame. It's just the wheels have fallen off. But some nice visuals and 1 or 2 scenes which. Call me an eater of member berries, but I gobbled them up. But finally, let's go to the man living in the land down under.
Yes.
It's our friend, it's Robot Head. What do you think, Robot Head? What were your thoughts on this episode of Mando?
Well, first I have to, is this score compared to, is the score just in the Mando universe compared to the rest of the series? Or is it in the real world where we're allowed to watch good things? Or is it just from enjoyment? Is there rules to this score?
No,
Giving it more thought than the writers of Mandalorian gave to the show.
Because the effects, are amazing, but enjoyment is a 0. So, I'd probably give it, I don't know, I'd give it something for the effects, I suppose. But even that, they worked that out 2 years ago. Are we just going to keep congratulating the effects after all this time?
Yeah, you're
So
right.
We've been doing it all season.
Enjoyment is 0 and writing's -10, and we'll give 3.
He settled on a 3, folks. There we go. Tim Hannabom, and I'm sure the rest of the chat all singing your praises, Robot Head. It's been great to have you on. Brownie, you know how forgetful I am. I've got so much plot in my mind for my trilogy, but what are the formalities? We, of course, thank the chat, don't we? And they've been...
Yeah, we'll just say,
on form.
if you've enjoyed this content, please consider donating to the channel. If you have, kindly, links, description, blah, blah, all that stuff. We usually say, chat, you are wonderful, don't we? Usually.
Do. But
And
not
they are,
tonight.
aren't they? Yeah, fuck them.
No, not tonight. They've let me down tonight.
Chat,
No.
you are wonderful. Always.
Don't come back, chat. We're done.
Always bringing your A game and a few new faces. Always good to see the new faces. If you are a new face and you've made it to the end and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Keeps me motivated.
Rob subscribed, Brown.
Oh.
But Franco's unsubscribed, unfortunately, he said. So just keeps it even.
Cheers, Franco. Keep me in my place. Ruin, do you want to see us out then, my friend?
Yes, I just want to thank all my fellow experts on the panel. Dark Lord, Sith Chord, thank you, sir.
Thank you, as ever.
Oh, there's the ASMR voice you all know and love.
No,
Not Brian.
This is just me with a cold now.
Not Brian. Good to have you back, sir.
Thanks, Ruin. Thanks also to Lost Cord, Robot Head, Z, Ian, Brun, the lads, lassies, and of course the non-binaries in the chat.
Beautifully done. And I will also just thank our favourite protocol droid, Z. Thank you very much, sir. Great knowledge tonight.
Timing.
Charming. Mega Geek, as always, we love your directorial input. Thank you, sir.
No worries. I think the chat was really good tonight, actually.
No, garbage.
They always
Well,
are.
they were. I mean,
Rubbish.
Princess, what's her name, was pretty cool as well. So, there you go. They're all good. They're all good.
Brownie, obviously, thank you for letting me drive
Thanks,
once more. I drove it somewhat like the pirate captain, but never mind. And finally, our special guest, and we've loved
Yes.
having you on, sir.
Yes.
Thank you to Robot Head.
I'm not game to ask the score of my performance. I think I brought the show down and probably
You brought it down under, did you?
drove people away. But I was happy to be here, and hopefully I can come back again sometime.
If I may,
love it.
if you've not streamed in over a year, I think you've been away far too long.
Yes.
This is
I've
the
got to
bit where
start
Brown
doing it
kisses
again.
your ass. He kisses
Yes,
everybody's ass
cue,
round about
cue the
this
arse
time.
kissing.
Yeah,
Go on,
Pucker
Brownie.
up, baby. I'm ready.
Hey, I need to do my own bit of ass kissing because Ruin has made me laugh every day for how many years now? Ruin,
5.
there were so many people committed at the start, and so many have dropped away. But Ruin's commitment every day, I just love it.
I'm still
Especially when
here.
it's just a random
Yes.
tweet, just reminding people of his glory days.
Thank you,
Brings
sir.
a
No,
smile on
we're.
my face every day.
Oh, that's nice to hear. We're two of the originals,
rest of
aren't we,
your fine
Robot
as well.
Head?
It's a genuine shame your trilogy has been cancelled.
No, it hasn't. It absolutely hasn't. That's not official. It's fake news. No.
If I may, Flopmeister, $5. Thank you, my friend. Great job, guys. Thanks for coming on, Mr.
You shouldn't have given him any
Robohead.
money because he says that the chat was terrible. So you shouldn't have given him any money at all. So
He's obviously
No.
very forgiving.
Refund that person, Brown.
yeah.
That's it, then,
Well,
folks, isn't it?
That's a wrap, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, as they say on The Mandalorian, this is
Shall
the
we fuck
day.
off? Shall we fuck off?
I could do
We
the
shall.
right right now.
I
Same-
think we're going to be
same time next week.
Yes, we'll be
Same
back
time
next week.
Oh, I can't wait. It's another episode of Mandalorian next
I think,
week.
I think Drunk 3PO said he'd come on.
Oh, he did, and you've got it in writing, Brown, and that's
Yes.
now legal. So
So, Jay, on the way. I think that's it,
Big, big,
folks.
You can't watch the show though.
no, he's bored by Disney.
I think
It's
that's it.
okay. None of the chat watch it, and if we're honest, half the panel don't watch it either. So
I won't
I think
stand
that
on the
is it.
goodbye again, but thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Ta-ta.
goodbye, man, babies.